What's good? What's good?
Hello, hello. Testing. Can anyone hear me? Testing, testing. Anyone hear me?
Familia, how you guys doing?
Hey, doing well. How are you, D?
Chilling. Just living the dream.
That's what I like to hear. That's always what I say too. Living the damn dream.
I mean, like literally the dream, but you know.
Testing.
Like
So,
literally, we're living in a dream. Is that what you're getting
like
at?
yeah, like literally living the dream, right?
Right.
Oh man. So today's Thursday. Anything good happening today? It's supposed to be a day of Jupiter expansion. Anything good? Hopefully. Is it me or I can't hear you guys?
I think I'm having the same problem, D. I don't think
Hello?
I don't think you can hear me.
No, Abraham, we still can't hear you. At least I can't hear you. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't hear anyone except Cordy.
Maybe we're living in our own dream, D.
Shit. I hate that
And hear each other. It's just you and me.
we're definitely in our own dream right now and nobody else in the background. Oh.
What about now that I've shared my
I
screen?
think Abraham's trying to sort out his audio. Yeah.
Well, apparently he's sharing a stream. Oh, he just stopped the stream. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on. I'm sure he'll figure it out. He usually does. I see we have two new wolves in the house. Matrix Bender and Perry Grona. Yeah, those avatar names sometimes it'd be hard to say. But I know that we can't hear you, so make sure you go to your audio settings and set your audio to whatever device you have. Because one of you is muted and the other person I can't hear, so just in case.
Yeah, Abraham, can you try speaking again and we can let you know, but we still can't hear you as of now.
Testing.
I was gonna say try
Testing.
going in and out.
Testing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're welcome to just listen. We usually get in here and chat it up.
Yeah, Abraham, if you're trying to speak, it's no dice, unfortunately, brother.
You can always try without the mic. You could just use your computer audio. I know that when all hell fails, I just have to open the laptop. Or you can use your computer mic and speakers. That might work. Let's see here. I'm actually going into Google right now and uploading to uploading the Rebecca's to the drive, uploading her video to so she can have it and post it, because I need her to condense the video before she
testing.
Yeah, thank you for doing that, by the way. I looked out. I couldn't make it.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. It was a really good session. It's just sometimes it's like it takes me a little bit to get the video up and running, because these days
testing.
Yeah, we can hear you.
I had to change my input mode to voice activity instead of push to talk for some reason. So hopefully that works. Thank y'all for bearing with me. Glad to be here.
Yeah, man. So you were talking about the market dropping?
Yeah, and that's why I was sharing my screen, because there's a lot of if you look at the TA chart in the Waters Above community, and you look at it, there's been a lot of people just sharing technical analysis. Me too. Everybody's sharing their 2 cents, and a lot of people asking, is a pumping coming because of the sell-off? And I honestly think, yeah, but I got a just lovely chart to share with you all, and it's just this right here. It's just simply, don't get lost in the sauce. Every time we get a little rocket and a green dot right here, it means a green candle is forming, so a de-risking opportunity. But right here we just get FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt, and we have a red candle, a red dot printed. So just something you can pay attention to. This is the weekly time frame, but a more macro view. But it's just, today is 2 days from the 3-year anniversary of the sell-off in C19 in 2019, when we went all the way down to $3,600 for Bitcoin. Bitcoin equals 36. So we're in the 2023 year, so it's 2 days away from the 3-year anniversary in the 3rd month. So there's just a lot you can share about that. Today being 33 days from February 3rd, the 2-3 date, and then we get this sell-off. We can look at that 2-3 as the 2 3s, another 33 connection. So it's just irrefutable, undeniable, but we're pretty much closing the CME gap. Look at this, perfectly closing the CME gap. Sooner is better rather than later, because, well, a possible pump is incoming. Because if we go all the way back to C19, we know we were bought up in very quickly. So this sell-off is just distraction, fear, uncertainty, and doubt to get you, lost in the sauce. But this March 19 C19 crash, we were bought up within 60 days. So I think this is an opportunity to retest this 1993 pivotable support range, and we got close to it and just be bought right back up. But yeah, that's what I wanted to share. It's just multiple connections, especially when you look at the date numerology. 3-9, or internationally written 93, tying us into Saturn, or the 27 weeks and 2 days to the upcoming first day of the Shemitah.
Before you get too into it, are you recording your screen?
Yeah.
Oh, sweet. Okay, so you can post it later.
Right.
In your Facebook, and then let us know when you have the Facebook link, and we'll post that on the presenters chat. Okay?
Yeah, because I've got you're giving me the 22nd of this month, the 322 date, and the 223 year to present a little decode for you all. But the thing I see the most is, Jordan mentioned, yes, this is the 43rd prime number, 191 days from this date, but it's 106 days left in the year. That 106, or drop to 6, it ties us into Shiva, which we know Hinduism is said to be the oldest religion. So Shiva is known as the goddess of destruction, giving us that 16. So it's not surprising on 9-3 internationally written, tying us to Saturn, we get this sell-off on 3-9-9-3, and the low was $20,024, which is 224. And we know Satoshi Nakamoto gives us 224. So I'm done right there, and we can continue this. But today's a 3-9, so be an Olympian today, you know. That's all I wanted to tell you guys.
I appreciate that.
Oh, you know it, Cordy. I'm going to stop sharing my screen unless y'all want me to later, but give somebody else a chance to talk about something. But you asked about the markets, and that's just what I was seeing.
Well, enjoy the chat, guys. I'm gonna take off. I have to go back to work, but I wanted to make sure that I got the event going and that everyone was ready to go. So yeah, feel free to keep sharing on the market. Feel free to keep chit-chatting, whatever comes up, and you can always DM me if you guys run into any trouble or have questions. All right.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you, D.
Appreciate
Have
you.
a blessed night.
Love you all, guys. I'll be more free after the 22nd, 23rd. It's my last day presenting, so I can finally be free from school.
Awesome.
Love you all. Take care.
Love you.
Much
Bye.
love.
Bye. So who all we got in the house? Cordy G, I know you're in the house. Breachwater. Matrix Bender, I like that. That's nice. So what's everybody's thoughts? Or how's everybody's day been?
It's been good, man. I've just been running around with work and school and everything, but I finally got a little break.
I hear that.
I hope to be chilling with you all.
Yeah, I finally got a break too. Took care of my son right after work, after a shower and feeding us both, and been up since 1 a.m. working 12, 13 hours. Ready to hang out with y'all. Kick this off.
Oh yeah.
Somebody says it's been a busy week. Rainy in Louisiana. That's where RC3 Moore's from, I believe. Yeah, I can imagine that. St. Louis, Missouri. Yeah. Okay. I can imagine that. Oh, appreciate it. We're glad you're here with us, RC3 Moore. He says, he or she says, hope everyone is having a great week. My week's been blessed so far. It's Thursday, Thors Day. I love Thors Day. It's my favorite day of the week. Tied to Zeus, Jupiter, Thor. So, we got that energy flowing through me. Oh yeah, Nordic legends are awesome, yeah. All of them.
Yeah, there's an audiobook on YouTube I listen to sometimes before going to sleep, all about Norse mythology. It's fascinating.
It is. Now, I was talking to somebody today, and I mentioned earlier about Hinduism and Shiva, and he was saying, and in my research too, I've seen that they say Hinduism is the oldest stated religion. Now, are they counting the mythologies as a religion, or are they separate in that? Are they saying Hinduism is older than even the Greek, Norse, Mesopotamian, Babylonian, Sumerian mythologies, Egyptian mythologies, or did this come later? Like, is this known as the first documented religare?
I'm not sure. It's a good question. They might be just counting the scripture in terms of like religion, the Bhagavad Gita, or I'm not exactly sure. But I mean, we don't know how old these religions and these mythologies are. But it's interesting to look at Indo-European mythology and the connection, especially with Scandinavia and its origins in the Indus Valley River and the expansion of the Indo-European. So there's a lot of overlap with Hinduism. I mean, there's overlap and syncretism between all of them, but especially the Vedic, Indian, and Norse mythology as well.
Correct.
It's pretty fascinating, yeah.
And were you talking about Proto-Indo-European stages?
Right. Yep.
Because, like, say, for instance, if you date the word black back to its Proto-Indo-European stage, the definition for the word black is pale, colorless, white, or albino. But yet here in America and other places, we treat black as someone of a native ethnicity, and it's like, what? Like, but that's just because the definition, quote unquote, we've been, group thought into thinking about today. But I like to, chronicleize things back to that. Proto-Indo-European stage is fascinating. Uh-oh, another member. Ali Maga 13. Welcome, welcome. Glad to have you on the Thursday Thursday night hangout. Just relaxing, talking about anything. Spoke a few about the markets. Feel free to speak about anything. Your day, how's it been?
Charlie, come on. What's up, guys?
What's up? How's it going? JJ CNY Cine 22.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
Doing good.
Good deal. Y'all ready for movie night tomorrow night?
I was just gonna say, Jones, your mic is on as well, by the way. Oh yeah, we got a movie night tomorrow, huh?
Yeah. There were 2 movies with 5 votes last time I checked, and that was a movie Paul about like an alien, and then Fight Club. But I don't know how they're voting, because Paul had like 4 X's against it. So and I think Fight Club had like 2 X's against it versus 5 check marks. So I really don't know how they'll do like the tiebreaker. Maybe Paul, since Paul was put in the Discord first, maybe they just go by entry order first if there's a tie. So I don't know.
Yeah,
but I haven't checked today to see what was still in the lead.
Yeah, who knows? It'll be fun regardless, though. I mean, last week the Under the Silver Lake, we just went absolutely nuts in the chat with the decoding.
Yeah.
It got to a point, because that movie is supposed to be a satire or ironic almost of the truther or the conspiracy theorist or the decoder,
Yeah.
Follow endless breadcrumbs of
there were so many I wanted to share, but I couldn't stream on my computer and figure out how to get on Discord on my phone to join the chat, because like if I do, it kicks my computer off, and for some reason like it stops the stream for y'all. That was the problem I had the other week, I realized. So I gotta figure that out, because I didn't want to keep minimizing the screen for y'all while y'all were viewing the movie to come join the chat. And then I fell asleep towards the end and had to rewatch the movie that I posted on Rumble for everybody else in the Wolfpack to view. And so I got my decode sitting in my head still, but
yeah,
it's written down somewhere. But
did you look at the chat at all too? What we were saying?
No, but I can go in there and view it. Still, it should be archived under movie night.
If you just scroll back, we were finding some gems, but at a certain point, it gets to a point, I think, and this was done intentionally by the creators of this film, that this process of decoding is endless. It's like a Russian doll. It's like you keep, like the simulation will feed you exactly what you're looking for, right? And it's like, I use the metaphor of just like pulling out the thread in a sweater, and you just keep pulling and pulling and pulling. You get to a point where you see, oh, it's not the elite group of evildoers just flashing these numbers in our face on purpose. It's that the entire reality itself is scripted, right? It's the fluid or the fluid nature of the reality, the simulation itself that's presenting all of this. It's beyond human design. You know what I mean?
Correct. I always like to perceive it as a preordained synchronistic expansion of life. I believe we're living out a script. They tell us that in so many cultures, just in this whatever way. But when I started my channel and I named it what I named it, and then 2 years later I decoded myself and decoded my channel, and I had matching numerology to the Daily Candle Close News, and the fact that I call my viewers pioneers and everything to my name, and it's like, okay,
Right.
I'm
Right.
filling out my script. You know, I'm somewhere in the spiral of pi or the golden ratio or the Fibonacci or whatever, the Lucas numbers. I'm in that spiral right now, and I'm coming back and back and back to myself and to new learnings and new acceptions of things and growing. So I just think it's like you were mentioning, kind of like a spiral though, like a vortex that we're just constantly in as we travel through space.
Right.
Everybody believes the sun is fixed and the planets move around it under this whatever, this firmament or whatever, but we're actually, yeah, it's true, but the sun is moving linear sideways, and the planets are rotating, but they're moving sideways as well. So, you know, we're constantly in this vortex is how I view it.
Mm. Yeah, yeah. I think there's an important, as you said, realization that we can allow,
Yeah.
that we get to this point in this process of decoding where it's not all, oh, look at the boogeymen, like look at it must be on purpose, that there's some intention behind this, right? And it's like, no, you get to a point, especially when you start to decode yourself and you see all of these connections, that it's actually the scripted nature of this reality, this human experience itself, you know? And I think that scene in Under the Silver Lake that was so powerful was the producer of all that music, right? That scene where he's like, oh, there's a hidden message, I have to ask the producer why this message in.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh, like, you think I did that on purpose? Like, he was a representation of the script itself. It's like, oh, there's gonna be hidden gems everywhere you look, because that's just what the screen reality, the silver screen, right? The silver lake,
The silver lining. Yeah.
Quicksilver, you know?
Yeah,
It
Quicksilver.
was
Yeah.
all mercurial symbolism in that movie, and it was all about sexual alchemy, as I saw it.
Yeah.
The chrism, the cerebral spinal fluid, and the ascension of the Christ character. There was all that Jesus Christ symbolism, right?
Right.
And 33 was everywhere in that movie, right?
Right.
But yeah, I mean,
That's crazy
yeah.
too, because March equals 43, and you know, there are a lot of other 43 connections, but we're in March and we watched that movie at the beginning of this month, last week, starting off March. So to see 43 all over that movie, yeah, it's 4 plus 3 is 7. We're in the 223, or 2 plus 2 plus 3 is 7. You know, coming out of last year's 7-year Shemitah cycle. So of course I think we're still going to continue to see this 7 energy, but again, that's that biblical number, and you said that Jesus character role is in there, that Christ body, showing us to become Neo, Jake Sully, Trinity, Natiri, these avatar characters or matrix characters, because it's showing us that we are the Christ body, the Christos, the Christ within, that cerebral spinal fluid, which is the milk and the honey that it talks about in the Bible, that your brain produces through its pituitary and pineal gland, that comes through your Santa claustrum down your chimney and through your 33 vertebrae. So that's the Christ fluid, or the, if you choose to be Lucifer, that other cerebrum that comes down. You know, you have a choice down here. You can either be Jesus Christ or Lucifer. Which one are you going to be? But they also negative connotize that Lucifer character. I mean, he is the light bringer. Let there be light. That's why the Freemasons worship the light bringer, etc. But it's just how we perceive things as good and evil, etc. Everything is just what it is, you know. So, and also you mentioned about the sexuality in the movie, and it shows a darker hidden truth when you really pay attention to how the women are being used, because it's showing you Hollywood and how women are being used by quote unquote Harvey Epstein, or Jeffrey Epstein and Harvey Weinstein and all these other elites, and you know, because you kept seeing them be sexually used, and then what would happen to them. So it went pretty deep.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
I can hear
Yep.
you.
Hey guys, my name's Roy.
Hey Roy.
You guys are spitting some truths out here, man.
I mean, I think it's what we're called to do in this age right now. I think we are the ones that are realizing we need to step up and be the change that we want to see in the world one day, but be that change today. This is a place where where wolves come to feed wolves and pioneers come to feed pioneers, and we just are trying to become divergence and glitches in this matrix, keep one foot in the game so we can't be played.
Yes, sir. You guys were talking about decoding yourself. I didn't even think about that kind of stuff. That's wild.
And it goes deep.
Yeah. You should, if you know Logan at Decode Your Reality, he has a long video sort of tutorial or starting place for you to walk through all of these different aspects of decoding yourself. Numerology, gematria, astrology, what's the human design, everything.
Cards of illumination, the tarot cards, everything. Yeah, your birth card.
So definitely check that out. If you haven't, Roy, just look up how to decode yourself on YouTube, and you'll find
Decode Your Reality.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I just searched it, but it sent me to an interview. But now I'm pinging with how to decode yourself.
I'll find the link and just post it in the chat too if anyone else wants to check it out.
Yeah,
I appreciate
it's
that,
a great channel. I followed him for a few years as well. Him, Waters, Tommy Truthful, all the great ones. I started with Manly P. Hall and the early Jordan Maxwell preachings, and then it spiraled from there. Found all these lovely guys and gals.
Well, to just give a little background, I do lawn care, landscaping, so I really like nature. But I followed a lot of Joel Salatin, a lot of those urban farmer cats that talk about the system at large and how the industrial food system it's not sustainable. But Joel Salatin, I think, is awesome. If you've never heard of him, he's got a farm, I think, out in Vermont or somewhere on the East Coast, but it's like a fourth generational farm. They do a lot of educational stuff, but since then I just got into crypto last year because my coworker was big in it, and just through watching him, he's big on Bearable Bull and blockchain backer. So literally like 5 months ago, I'm watching them kind of just, I don't even know what TA is, I don't know what no fibs are, nothing like that. But then after watching them for like 6 months, and then Bearable Bull had the podcast with Waters Above, and I was like, what Waters Above was saying, I was like, damn, that shit all makes sense. So I just started watching his like a month ago, and now I had to join the Patreon because there was more videos in the Patreon, and I was like, I gotta get in that, dude.
You'll get the master class. You'll get everything else, just like I did years ago. I bought everything except for his trading course and his expansion mastermind course. I've got the expansion mastermind. I just am not part of the monthly course of that or the trading course.
Right.
Everything else of his I own.
Yeah, I'm gonna get on it pretty soon. It's just getting some time and some money ready,
Right.
I don't even know how much is the master class. Wasn't it like a couple hundred, or was it more than that? I can't remember.
Yeah, it's $333 for just the expansion mastermind, but I think it's
Yeah, that's not that bad.
I think it's a repetitive payment to be in the monthly class. I'm not sure. I can't remember.
Yeah, for the group coaching. It is
Group
it is
coaching, yeah.
But in terms of just the one-time payment for the courses, that's separate. You can, since you're a part of the Patreon, you can apply a discount as well.
Right.
And he has all of that in his information on Discord. So if you do buy his courses, make sure to apply the coupon.
And don't quote me on this, but I believe if you just go ahead and save up money and buy the expansion mastermind course, you get everything that comes with it, like the exit strategy and everything else. But I'm not sure. I thought that's how he did it, or was doing it at one time.
Yeah, I think if you do the group coaching, it includes the expansion mastermind, and it might include another one. I'm not sure though. You'll have to look on the website because he puts it all there.
Yeah, I'm not sure neither. He's got over 300 videos that I've probably watched at least 2, 3, 4 times a piece, you know. So,
Nice.
yeah. Yeah, I've definitely taken his skill and ran with it. Like, I knew about the numerology and the charts. I was teaching myself all through 2018, 2019, watching Blockchain Backer and Bearable Bull and Kevin Cage and everybody. And at the time, it just got to a point to where it's like wasting hours and hours a day, and
Watching video.
I wasn't learning nothing.
Yeah.
I got mad. I got irritated, and I was like, you know what? F that. I'm gonna find somebody that's gonna teach me, and then I'm gonna go and become a teacher, because I've always been a leader in any role I've really worked the hospitality industry, but I've done landscaping, like you said, as well. And you know, I've just always been a leader, and I was like, you know, that's what I want to do, is be a motivational speaker when I retire. And I said, why wait? You know, why not just go ahead and start now? Get the kinks, mistakes out the way, and when I retire one day, I can, well, do what I said I was gonna do.
Charlie.
That's awesome.
Charlie.
But you asked for it and it came, you know? It's
Yeah.
beautiful how
Come in, Charlie.
I'm gonna mute John Z or lower his volume to 17% until he wants to talk.
Yeah, that was 2018, 2019. I mean, it's just amazing how it all works out. Like, I was working landscaping for one guy, and I just started my own thing like 2 years ago, and I still work a full-time job, like 40 hours a week. But my
Me too.
side job is growing year by year, and I love seeing it because it's grassroots and it's just doing its own thing, you know.
Right.
And I want to keep it that way as long as possible before I try and blow it up to something that's not even, you know, am I ready for it, or, you know, whatever path I'm on, like what you're talking about with your path.
Right. Yeah, we all are walking our own path, and I believe we all have our own truth, and it's just about, you know, connecting with the higher self. That's just my belief, you know. When I connected with my higher self and found my purpose, my goal, you know, it allowed me to at least develop a skill and a craft and a mindset that I know is going to allow me to eat fruit in the future.
Yeah, I think you got to put the work in while you're young, or not while you're young, but, you know, if you're 50 or 60, you might not see as much fruit, theoretically.
Right.
But you got to put the work in now, like what you were saying. You got to do it now, and don't keep putting it off.
And I'm honestly not even doing it for myself, you guys. You know, I'm about to be 33. You know, I've got a 11-year-old son. I'm an only father now since his mom passed away in October. And you know, it's like all my crypto, all my everything I do is I'm just planning on leaving it for him. You know, I just do this just because I know what it is, and I know there's money to be made, and I'm just trying to leave behind a legacy for him. So like that's what this is for me. I don't mind being broke. I've been broke. I've had money, but I work 40-50 hours a week too, you know, slave, you know, to the job, the just over broke system. You know, I don't have joy over boredom. The only time I have joy over boredom is when I'm with my pioneers and wolves over here in these communities, or putting out videos online trying to help others. And I don't make no money off of it. I ain't made a dime yet, but I haven't really tried. You know, I've been doing it on Facebook, just trying to only collect with those who are mentally stable to understand what we're going through right now, not only in economics or the world, but just finance in general. So, you know, I haven't been trying to build a big following or nothing. I've just only been trying to collect those few chosen divergents and glitches, pioneers and wolves, because, you know, not everybody's gonna make it, and you know, it's sad to say, but I mean, I'm just trying to only be with those that are gonna help me succeed and raise the frequency and raise the vibration. I don't really need no trolls in my life right now.
Yeah. Ain't that the truth?
Yeah. No non-player characters for me.
I remember when I had to make that decision, and then everybody starts acting like foul in your life, and then you're like, well, why is this happening? And it's like the universe or the matrix trying to suck you back into that wasting, and that time wasting, and all that energy wasting, and trying to break free from that's the first part,
Right.
But I'm sorry you lost your girl. It sounds like, but congratulations on your son.
Oh, well, we were separated for 10 years, but it didn't change nothing, I mean, there's still
It's a
love there.
connection.
Yeah, we shared soul ties. But yeah, I mean, it's definitely not been the same for neither one of us. But I appreciate the condolences. But I mean, it is life. I honestly, I mean, I think there's more after this. You guys, they tell us life and death, but those are just words. If you look at the ancients and some of the natives and the tribes that would study and preach to the world, they thought we were truly alive when we were asleep, but dead when we were awake. So I mean, what is really life? What is death? I do believe it's a transition state, and I believe they've moved on to the next stage. I believe they've leveled up, quote unquote, been raptured or whatever. I think they're the lucky ones, to be quite frank. I don't think we should envy them and try and take the exit plan, because I think we should follow our own script and go when it's our time. But yeah, I still think it's also a reincarnation cycle, possibly. Life, death, rebirth, that Saturn, moon, sun matrix, or whatever that people talk about. I just simply dated all the way back to the Ouroboros, Ophiuchus, the serpent eating its own tail, Yaldabaoth, or the demiurge, and so whatever culture you believe in. But I just believe it's Shenron in Dragon Ball Z.
Oh shoot! I was just talking to my homie about that, trying to think about Super Saiyan 4 and 5, and I was like, yeah, that didn't come till GT though. And then he was like, yeah, but there wasn't 5 in GT, and he started getting all technical with it. I was like, okay, now you got me.
Yeah.
But so, yeah, you just took it back to like Gilgamesh, like the ancient stories, basically, that all the tribes in every continent had to pass along, is what you're saying. It goes back to, basically.
Yeah. I mean,
Well,
it's so hard to
I'm gonna
differentiate.
I'm gonna
but-
throw a bone, and I'm gonna say, because somebody told me this once and it really stuck with me. Whether it's right or wrong, but they said no matter how many people are alive today, there's more people now than there's been that has ever lived. And I guess that would be based off of like consensuses, through 1700s or 1600s, or what they thought was consensus.
Right.
But that could be, but that would go with like Hinduism, like the reincarnation factor, that there's more people. So like when you die, you would be reborn, and whether there's more people coming in through more portals, or I don't know how that works, but just a theory. And I don't know, it just kind of stuck with me. I don't know if it makes sense to you or what you would take on it.
It's hard to say. You got any thoughts, Cody G, on that?
Yeah, I've first of all, I resonate a lot with what you were saying, Abraham.
Oh, thank you.
It's not that, and with both of you, but it's not, honestly, at this point, the spiritual experiences and awakening in my ongoing process that I've had. It's not that I believe that there's more, that this isn't it. It's like I know deep down this is not it, to the core of my being.
Right.
And what is after? I do believe in some sort of reincarnation, some sort of loop. But
I would agree.
beyond that, I don't buy into the David Icke, the Saturn Moon Matrix. I'm not exactly sure on that.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan. I think it's popular, and anything
I just
popular, I stay away from.
I just don't. I'm interested in it. The work of like Howdy Mikowski and the Soul Trap.
Yes.
Reincarnation Soul Trap. It's fascinating to unpack it in terms of like ancient religion, mysticism, what the Gnostics, the Hermetica, all of that, what what's said in these ancient texts. But I don't give my energy to anything that's fearful or energy sapping. In terms of a trap, it's just like no. I'm sorry, but no. I think I do. I go back and forth, but I think I chose to be here. I made a conscious decision as a
Yes.
spirit, and I'm some sort of puzzle piece of a greater whole that's not here. That just resonates with me. But
Okay.
in terms of Roy's question, sorry, just really quick about the population, I think it's non-linear. Like in terms of time, like we can reincarnate to times in the past, times in the future. I don't think that construct of time exists on a spiritual plane. That reincarnation isn't limited to that. So there's multi-dimensional aspect to it. Sorry, go ahead though.
So have you guys ever seen the spirit science YouTube of the guy that does like the spirit science where he goes through the world history and he talks about Atlantis and then back to Thor, or not Thor, Thoth running
Thoth.
around to different tribes.
The Egyptian mythology.
Well, his take on it is that the god Thoth was just like, in theory, just like a six-dimensional, the creature, the dimension he was in, he could fly around, and he would go to all the different tribes. And he gave them the technology and the story of the serpent and the story of origin, but it was basically that was like later on, but it goes back to Atlantis where there was the Martians and the Jews and there was another race. But
Yeah.
do you know about Atlantis at all like that? Because
I know a little. You had the Battle of Atlantis and Lemuria, the Battle of the Immortals.
Yeah.
At times I've thought, are we descendants from the Battle of Atlantis and Immortals? Have some of us lived this lifetime, I don't know, say 22, 23 times and done this repetitively? I've thought about that and I've done some research into it. But I'm really not sure. It's like I said, it's hard to say. We don't know for sure, but it is a thought that's come across my mind. Are some of us descendants from the lost cities? I don't know. But you were saying about Thoth being the messenger of all tribes, and he is known as the messenger. And I think it's actually ancient Hermeticism, not Egyptian, where Thoth comes from. It's one of the two, but he was known as the messenger, so that would make a lot of sense how he flew around to the tribes and delivered,
Because John Hancock, he's going around and he's uncovering. I think there's a lot more in South America we don't know about, like Machu Picchu and the rainforest, and it could it could rival Egypt, and everybody wants to talk about Egypt and the pyramids because they're right there in the open. But with the spirit science, he talks about every place that the pyramids are at. It's on. If you did a geogrid, like a sacred, like some sort of sacred G around the world, every pinpoint is like where the pyramids are at all around the world. And like in St. Louis, we got the Cahokia Mounds. I don't know if you ever heard of them. But they're in Illinois, and I've been to them, and it was cool. I went to a field trip there, but never even thought about it like that. That could have been a energy harvesting, where it was like you had to build it to create the magnetic field around the world, because they say when the poles flipped, if we wouldn't have, the spirit science guy, he says when the poles flipped, if we wouldn't have built the pyramids before a certain time, then we wouldn't have been strong enough to make it through the next
reset.
Reset, dimensional change, whatever it happens from every so many tens of thousands of years,
I think it's every. Rebecca Carrington was on last night in Tarot, and I thought she said it was every 21,600 years, and I thought that was crazy, being the 216, because that's the true mark of the beast. 6 times 6 times 6, 6 times 6 is 36, 6 times 36 is 216, and that's just a pretty key number in a lot of numerology and esotericism.
Yeah, I think If you've never seen the Spirit Science YouTube, it's worth a watch. It's kind of long. It's like an hour and a half, but that's kind of where I base most of my like ancient knowledge from to try and like piecemeal the rabbit hole, right?
Right.
Because I went down the rabbit hole and then it's like, man, like you said, watching video and where that takes you, you know, mentally and this and that. It's like I was like, fuck that. So now I don't think about it so much, but just having you guys here, I just wanted to have your take on it as far as like, you know, I mean, you get crazy with it. We could jump around all day. Now, whether we want to do that or not, it's a whole nother story, I guess.
Yeah, I do believe there's something to it, especially with the pyramids being like a soul trap. The way they used to wrap the mummies and lay them in tombs. You know, they've done some.
What do you mean?
What I mean by that?
Mm-hmm.
I'm in full alliance and have been for years that there is something to do with these tombs and these pyramids that keep a certain amount of man or certain vibrational frequency of man and woman just reincarnating here on Earth. There are plenty of movies and researches that if you go back and see, and I forget the one, but there's this like one movie or show where this girl, she's like tied to one of the mummy strings, and like you can see she gets sucked into the life of the mummy and things, and I think it's just clearly documenting and showing us that these tombs have always been like an ancient soul trap to keep life here on Earth. Exactly like sort of the transhumanist agenda that they're trying to merge the iron with the clay, Nebuchadnezzar's dream, merge man with machine to keep humans alive for the metaverse said another 150 years as long as you're willing to upload your soul into a living app. Like, come on. You don't think people are so scared of dying because that's all they've been taught about is life and death? Again, what is life? What is death? They've only been taught two things. What if there's something more? You know what I'm saying? What if there's eternity? Because pi is a constant, and that's math. It's irrefutable, undeniable. Facts, figures, numbers, logic, and common sense. And, well, if time equals 47, and constant equals 47, and pi is a constant, well, is time not constant? Can we not be constant? You know, I just wonder. We're energy, so this vessel is going to destroy, but our energy is going somewhere else.
When you said iron and clay, say that again, because that made a lot of sense. Because a lot of people talk about the transhumanism.
You would have to look at an ancient text of Nebuchadnezzar's dream, where he had a dream. He was someone like me, an Eight of Wands birth card, someone that was a prophet. You had Nebuchadnezzar, and who was the other great foreseer that everybody talks about? And I'm losing his name right now. But anyways, you had a lot of great prophets back in the day, and one of them was known as Nebuchadnezzar, and he had a dream where he saw the iron merging with the clay. So the iron would be the upper body of this figure he saw, and the clay the feet, and the clay was us, the human, okay, at the bottom, being stepped on by the machine, by the elite. And we live in a motherboard, a matrix reality. And they show us this in Hunger Games and the 4 movies there, how they're in this rotating battle arena, a dome, a sphere, like under the firmament, and you can see a holographic projection on top every time someone, you know, dies, etc. Like, that's all we're seeing. It's all in front of us.
So with the soul trap keeping us here on Earth, I mean, do you think that we're able to leave Earth, or do you think that is the firmament, or like at what point is there a difference in?
Well, there's a great cartoon called The Castle in the Sky. Some believe that, and another movie with I think it's Matt Damon or Mark Wahlberg, one of the two. What's the name of it? It starts with the E, but it's a large tower going up into the sky. Do you know it, Cordy G? Elysium. Some believe that there's a castle in the sky, and that you have 3 reincarnation cycles, and if you make it through all 3 of them correctly, etc., or however they believe, I don't remember, but that you would be able to ascend to the castle in the sky, the Elysium, heaven, aka, which is also known as the firmament, or in Egyptian known as Nut. It's just the waters above, though. That's all it is.
I swear, that's what I was thinking. I was like, dude, my buddy said it. I showed my buddy waters above, right? And he watches all blockchain backer, like all technical stuff.
Yeah.
And he's like, waters above, what does that mean? I go, what do you think it? And I looked at him, a little funny, and he was like, no way. I was like, yup.
And we don't even have to go to the waters above if you believe in the concave earth theory and you believe in the 1,000-foot or 100-foot ice wall, and you realize that there are other continents, some say 13 to 20 other continents outside of this ice wall of Antarctica. I mean, there are waters up there too. So I mean, there are still waters above and waters above. If you believe like that, it's hard to say.
Well,
but there are maps. There are maps of this.
Oh, I know Admiral Byrd. I mean, you can go different ways with
Operation High Jump.
Yeah. I'm not. Is that part of his? Was that part of his mission, or is that a different one? Operation High Jump?
I believe Admiral Byrd was the leader of Operation High Jump, where they climbed and explored the ice wall.
And being like, you almost died the first time around, right? And you didn't make it there. So you go back again, get lost again on some shit. Oh my god, he must have been a soldier, dude.
Well, when you're seeking the truth, there's no go, there's no get. I mean, there's no give, there's just go. For me, at least. Like, when I get in the zone, I'll look up and it's 4, 8, 14 hours later, and I gotta go do something else.
You don't ever feel like lethargic or like run down?
Nah, I try to pace myself. I'm very athletic. I grew up playing sports my whole life, boxing, skateboarding, playing instruments. I have one method, and that's go. Go. Yeah, probably bite me in the end, early heart attack or something. Hopefully not, but I've just got a 0 to 100 real quick mentality.
Yeah. I like to live the fast life too, but it's got to be.
Hope everything's well, Cordy G. Thanks for coming out. We'll catch you in the next one. Much love.
Take it easy, man. Nice to meet you.
Great Pioneer and Wolf right there. Divergent and Glitch in the Matrix.
That's what I like to hear.
Yeah.
I remember growing up, I thought it was all just like coincidence, and then it starts clicking for you.
Yeah.
And you just, it took time for me.
Yeah.
I was like 25, I'm 27, and it took me till I was probably like 25 to really just get rid of all the matrix in my mind. And kind of in my life too, but it's never ending in your life, right?
Yeah, but it sounds like that was right there around the bear flu and the C-19,
Oh yeah, because I isolated as fuck.
Yeah.
But I was kind of doing that a couple years before too, but that just really sunk it home.
Yeah. I retired for a year, took care of my son, because I really didn't know what was going on. I mean, like I said, I was studying the markets and everything in 2018 and 2019, and I knew that there was a catalyst coming, and I couldn't quite pinpoint it. But when we saw it, I was like, this is the catalyst that will set us up for the next 20 years. And so, luckily, I was able to invest in cryptocurrency and change the outcome of my life for my family. I took all my stimulus checks and all the money, a little bit I had in the bank, and I deployed it into Bitcoin and XRP at 17 cents, 13 cents, 14 cents, and I got $3,800 Bitcoin, $3,600 Bitcoin, and I wrote it up to 24 and 20K, and I sold it and then diversified it, and bought a lot of altcoins with that profit, and rode them up, and was able to do the same thing. And some I've never de-risked, some I still hold, and now I'm just been dollar cost averaging, reaccumulating, especially now that we're getting more dips recently. I'm just trying to build myself up, Load the truck up, pack it, and stack it.
You know how it is.
Yeah,
Get around the road by my nose.
yeah, no doubt, no doubt.
What
Yeah.
about the what about this dip though? I know I came in right at the end of you going through some TA.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and pull it back up, go live, and just share some thoughts on that for you
'Cause I
all.
did not expect it to drop another 1,000 or 2,000 in the this week. I thought it was gonna stay within its range, you know.
Yeah, we've been holding this like egg type, cup and handle type pattern, right? And this is the first time we get a weekly candle that's actually breaking below and possibly gonna close. We'll see what happens come Sunday. But it's possibly gonna close underneath this pattern, this dome, this firmament turned upside down. We know we had these three back here going over the last 2 years that we didn't break out of, kind of showing us the three pyramids that we've been talking about, really. This large A, B, C corrective wave into a bottom where we've been finding a bottom which came in around 15,500 in the year of the tiger. And we know Jordan's taught that. It's important. Chinese astrology giving us that 15. So irrefutable, undeniable. We also saw the queen die who ruled over 15 Commonwealth realms, and she died last year, and Bitcoin hit its $69,000 top when I spelled Queen Elizabeth right. There you go. You get the 69, and so it's all in a code. But we hit that 15K and that 69K top in the year of the tiger last year. And the tiger was tied to a negative symbol, like the Bengals lost, and anything with a 15. We saw a negative energy like Jordan taught us. So not surprising to see that, really. Where was I at with this chart? But yeah, to hit that 15K, that's the 0.5 fib. If we pull a bullish fib from our previous high, double top, kind of like an M pattern, which we know is bearish. So we're just coming back to retest the 0.5 fib, and if we can close the weekly above that, that's bullish. But again, I just think this is fear, uncertainty, and doubt, FUD, before we print another green dot down here and we get another rocket candle on the weekly to the upside. Especially because if you look at this 2-hour time frame, like I was sharing with everybody earlier, we closed today, not only closing the CME gap that we had, didn't get a back test of it, we closed it finally today. So that's important. I'd rather see it sooner than later, because that just only confirms that we got a possible, all the sophisticated market analysts and investors are buying into this market right here. They've had this set, they've been known, limit orders were triggered, stop losses were liquidated, shorts were liquidated, or longs were liquidated, etc. So I mean, this is clearly a manipulation move from me. But on this 2-hour time frame, I was looking at this candle today that hit the low, and it closed at a low of $20,024, and I was sharing with everybody earlier how that's not surprising. It ties us into Satoshi Nakamoto 224. I'm not surprised to see that, especially knowing that he ties us into Saturn, giving us that same 69. Saturn also gives us 93, and today is internationally written as 9-3. Saturn is timekeeper, Odin, Kronos, the king of the harvest. So we got harvested today in the cryptocurrency market, and it's just falling down below some liquidity ranges, or tapping into some close liquidity ranges that we took some time to get out of, roughly from June 22nd all the way till 14th of January, that 1-1-4 date. So when you
look at those liquidation ranges, and you're talking about us being outside of the dome shape.
Yeah.
How are you looking at that on like Like on a, like you said, that one went from June till, whenever. Like, how do you differentiate if it's within its range or not? Or if it's gonna break out and be liquidation range or.
Um, well, it's really going to determine, this is on the daily time frame, so it's really going to determine on a lot of indicators, the MACD, the RSI, a lot of other oscillators. This is the 223, we're in the 223 year, and the 322 exponential moving averages, tying us into skull and bones and what is known as the 13th Lucas number. So again, another Fibonacci spiral, always tying us into math. But the 13th Lucas number is 322. So I'm always basing it on just multiple forms of TA. So we've got these liquidity ranges where we got back above these two exponential moving averages, but we don't hang out there long. So I tend to de-risk that and come back down. So what's going to be important is if we hold this, what I consider as 1993, which was a Shemitah year and is on this green line right here, this green line right here, I consider that to be our retest of support, because we broke out right here and didn't get a retest back. So I think we're finally getting it before we move back up. So I consider this to be a bear trap and an accumulation range. So I think it's only retesting our previous liquidity and support range. You were asking, how do we determine if we're going to come out of it? Well, it's going to be based on the shorter time frames and the macro time frames as well, because I'm only viewing this on the daily time frame where I got these liquidity ranges drawn, and that's also using previous past data. We've got trading ranges right here. We fell below a support, we can't get above the resistance, so that's going to determine our liquidity range. So what's going to determine how we get out of it is, well, we're just going to have to wait for a breakout or wait for a breakdown to move. I mean, it's hard to determine how or why we're going to break into them. What I can say is give you potential upside and downside targets, and feel more comfortable doing that. And that's that 18,700, that 187 being the penal code for murder. We see a death in the cryptocurrency markets right now, all the way down to this 181, which again is tying us into Satoshi Nakamoto, giving us that 181 being the 42nd prime number, the 6 star. So
Gotcha.
That's the best way I can explain it. But you're going to want to look for pattern recognition and past data. This W pattern breakout, that's one way to tell if we measure the move from the top of the neckline to the bottom. We're going to get a measured move that takes us above our liquidity range. So that's one way you can tell how. And if you see we're holding support, then you can tell, okay, well, one of two things has happened. The more longer we hold support without a breakout, the more likely we are to go down, especially if these are sloping or RSIs and overheated, or MACDs in bullish territory starting to slope down. That's the best way I can explain it. You're really just, in trading, if you're trading and not accumulating or long-term investing, you're really just waiting to trade the breakout move, to be quite frank. I make more money if I'm trading, scalp trading, etc., by shorting the market on the breakout, or longing the market on the breakout. I'm not going to get the bottom, I'm not going to get the top, but I can 2-3x, no more leverage, and be successful.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense.
But this 223 moving average on the daily time frame is hanging around $22,030. So once we broke this moving average and this horizontal trading range, what would you expect us to do? Especially since we have a 2-hour closure below it, we're going to continue to bleed.
Right, the bottom's going to fall out of it because it through.
And one thing,
18.7 is a number to look for in the next 4 to 5, maybe even a week, 2 weeks.
yeah, I would say all the way up until 3/13, March 13th, which is 3113 backwards, and that's if we continue to break past 1993. We filled the CME gap. There's no reason to go lower. If we start breaking 1993, I mean, we're coming all the way back down to 187, which is right there at around the queen died. Then we hit 187. So that's why I've been using this range all the way since the 8th day of September when the queen died. Well, she died. We hit 2 days before she died on 6/9. Bitcoin hit 69,000, and the queen equals 69. And then 2 days before she died, we hit 187, and then we skyrocketed into the next Fed CPI ratings meeting, where we know they manipulated that pump to come back down to the 187 range, a bear trap right after a bull trap. But that's just why I'm seeing this possible 187. If we're going to continue to bleed down, it would be to that 187 at the lowest and pop back up, because we don't want to lose this support range. We had a breakout, back test, and boom. So if we hold that, then that's okay. But anything lower than I mean, we're just gonna have to wait and see what happens.
Go anywhere. I mean, that's what I was thinking before.
Yeah.
Before even seeing all this, but this makes a lot of sense, because I mean, it would be very significant if it went to 187 for sure. When you like that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just using it as the penal code for murder. Police use it, for homicide, etc. So I'm just using it as, connections with seeing the queen die, quote unquote, whatever. This sudden destruction range I've been sharing for quite some time was 21,500, this red line right here. And I've been adamant that if we close any kind of candle below 21,500, get ready, because we're going to see sudden destruction in the cryptocurrency market. 215, 21,500. We closed a 2-hour candle below it, and guess what? Boom, here we are, right back down to 19,000. So it's irrefutable, undeniable. This code really works.
The kicker for me, and I'm gonna jump into the future a little, like another month on you, and kind of just like when I was watching, Jordan's videos, it was like I could get a taste of it month by month, but like when you're trading, obviously you need that weekly, almost daily, influence or motion or insight, and like right now till 313, it's speculative, right?
Right.
But then at 313 we go up to different ranges, like everybody's talking about the 31,000 range and how it could get there like immediately, and I think that's what I'm looking for here in late March. But then
Correct.
in April it's gonna dip again though, correct?
It could be as late as March, to be honest, because you've got Aries coming up, which is the first start of the 13 true zodiacs. They teach us 12, but Ophiuchus, or the Ouroboros, is the real 13th zodiac. But you have March 21st, which is the new moon, which tends to bring bullish energy. And I teach in my channel that the 21st and the 22nd of every month tends to bring a microstructure reset to the market. 22, okay? Or a recycle to the market. 22. Or also a change in the market. 22.
22nd of the month.
Yeah, and that's going to be 322 this month in the 223 year, again tying us into our favorite lizard pals, Skull and Bones University. So
You're saying, that's funny. You're saying that the 20, like we could see a rise from the 14th to the 22nd, and then the 22nd could be the start of the dip a little bit until May.
Yeah, because 14th is International Pi Day, Tuesday, the 2-3, second day of the third month, and you got 3.14. So you got the constant right here. So that could be a good day. It's the 73rd day of the year. That's the 21st prime number, tying us into Saturn. And then the 22nd, 322, or internationally written 223 in the 223 year, being the 81st day of the year, tying us into Ritual, giving us that 81. Or, well, Venus, because we're in the rabbit year, Venus giving us that 81. This could be a bullish energy leading into the 25th of the month, a couple days after the full moon, because Venus gave us 25. That's how I'm viewing it.
What's the name of your channel?
You can follow me right here on Facebook at Daily Candle Close News. I'm also on Rumble at Honest Abe, capital H, capital A, B3. And I've recently opened up a YouTube because D Vortex and everyone asked me to. And I've been uploading so far like 60 of my first videos that I could get from Facebook. Some of them were recorded with my phone, etc. So I wasn't able to upload those, but I've got 60 of them so far of the 300 plus that I've done over the last few years that I'm slowly just adding on to the Daily Candle Close News. And you'll find me at Daily Candle Close News 9817 on YouTube. And I'm working on creating my own website.
I just added you on YouTube, or I subscribed, or whatever.
Awesome. Yeah, forget, like I said, I used to be a XRP maxi, or, I was new to crypto, and, I used to share the news articles and the fun, the nonsense, but I was trying to learn technical analysis and teach that, and I was slowly building my gematria skills, and, but I mean, I share plenty of, like, I shared exit strategies and, warnings to de-risk, etc. around the Shemitah in August of last year. I mean, like I said, it was a journey and a learning process to get to where I am and the level of content that I produce today. So, forgive the first several videos, but I'm just doing it to have all my content in one place, to be honest.
Well, YouTube's the GOAT in my opinion, but obviously Rumble's make a stir. I think Facebook's always pretty clutch.
Well, Facebook has censored me and suspended me and, removed some of my stuff, and so has YouTube, and that's why, I started a YouTube at first, and that's what I first had, and, I was going live, and I kept getting striked, and my channel removed, and, I got tired of it, and I just went to Rumble because it's, they protect my free speech and my First Amendment rights, and I can post any and everything I want, and I ain't never got a nothing. So I just always felt it was a safer route, even though it's probably not my server, not my data, but still I don't have a problem. Everybody can view my stuff. It's not popular, it's not known about like Facebook or Instagram, Twitter, but they don't provide these opportunities for me to do that. And Facebook was where all my friends and family were, and that's who I wanted to target the most, was protect my loved ones for what we're about to witness. And I've been preaching since 2020, get ready for a 1971 Nixon shock all over again. And what have you seen the last 2 years since 2020? And I was preaching it back then. I knew what was coming because I've studied economics, finance.
Yeah, it's always got to start somewhere, and the fact that like we were talking about earlier, the paths and how they align themselves, and as long as you're willing to learn, of course. I think that's the bare bones to, the path of consciousness, or,
Yeah, it all lies in your hands. I mean, if you're gonna do the work, build the craft, the skill to get you to your outcome, then you're gonna get there. But if you choose to not do anything, then, or you're just gonna be a couch potato and stuck in that left logic hemisphere of the brain, instead of a heart-brain coherence, abundant state of mind.
Yeah, that yin and yang symbol is freaking nice. I like that.
The subconscious, the conscious, the duality of the two, the sleep, the awake, the up, the down, the whatever, Joe Biden, Donald Trump, whatever you want to.
Oh, that's a good analogy. I like that one.
Yeah, that's how I view the yin and yang, peace and evil, however you want to view it. But if you spin it though, it's just all one,
Oh.
Take a peace sign and spin it sometime.
And so, not to get off subject, but going back to that TA chart, when you're talking about the 13th and the 14th being nice, and then the 22nd being like a reset button, what kind of extensions or what kind of rocket ships do you see coming on the week of the 13th through the 18th or whatever? and how high could we get, and like healthily, or in a healthy manner, and like expectations wise that you're seeing? Because I'm hearing 30, but whether it gets there or not, it sounds like it might take till May before it makes the crazy, crazy breakout. I don't know.
Yeah, that's possible. It could wait all the way up to that May eclipse. But tomorrow's 310 or 13. However you want to view it when you drop to zero. It's 13 or 31. So I expect that to be a pretty important date because we know that ties us back into the 13 bloodlines of the Illuminati, or 13 in my research has been the oldest documented number found with the symbol, the snake eating its tail, the Ouroboros. So I expect tomorrow to be a day to watch out for. It's pivotal. I don't know what the date numerology of it was, but I think it adds up to 69 in numerology. So 310 tomorrow adds up to 69. Bitcoin hit its 69k top. So that's going to be a pretty important day to watch out for, I think, being the 69 day of the year. So we'll have to pay attention to that, but it's also leading into 311, or internationally written 113. And when you research that, I don't know if it's going to come up. When you research Baba Kamal 311, you learn about the Babylonian Talmud, the Baba Kamal, which is known as a disinfo or distraction number, like disinformation, green screen, not true. All these things equal 113. So it's pretty crazy. So anything can happen the next 2 days. So I expect in the TA and the markets to possibly see some consolidation, maybe in this range, maybe retest this 1993 or go even lower and then be bought back up again to that 18,700 or 181 at the lowest, to be quite frank, is how far low I think we're going to go. This could be it, and we could be bought right back up into these next 2 days and then come back out and reclose this. This was when we fell off, this parallel channel was a bear flag that we know tends to be kind of bearish, but we had a breakout to the upside, and I might have said that backwards, but anyways, and now we're coming back down towards possibly the heart line of this, which could be a great retest range at right there at around 193, 192, 191 being 19,100 being the 43rd prime number. Again, we're in March. March equals 43. 4 plus 3 is 7. So, but either way, I think we're just building structure and trying to find some sort of support to continue moving back up to this 21,500 and this 223, 224, and these ranges right here. But what we don't want to do now that we've set a lower low is set a lower high, because if we do, we're coming back down. Ooh, I don't know what that was, you guys.
Airplane.
Okay, but yeah, I possibly still see us in this automatic rally though. Like, I'm not seeing enough confluence in this right here, especially because we're getting these moves around a few days after the full moon. I'm not expecting this to be anything major to worry about in continuation to the downside. I think this is just, again, like I started out with the rocket ships and the FUD. I think this is just fear, uncertainty, and doubt to shake out weak, unsophisticated traders and analysts and keep them from missing out on this accumulation opportunity in this possible bear trap. I mean, I really think that's all this is.
You're saying that the market makers are doing that to gain more money through the liquidation and all that good stuff?
Exactly. I mean, just think about it. This sudden destruction range has been going on since July, back when the Georgia Guidestones blew up at 4:03 p.m. or a.m. in the morning. We've been talking about that number, but all the way back since July, I'm going to have to go on the daily time frame of this year when we saw the Georgia Guidestones blow up. I have to hide the drawing so it makes it easier for you guys. But this 21,500 range that we just broke, it's been going on since June, July, and August when we finally broke past. Where's July? Right here, right there around the time that the Georgia Guidestones blew up in 2022, and they were erected on March 22nd. So that 2-2. But they sold right past that 21,500, and I knew that was going to be a major range. And again, it was a sudden destruction at 4:03 a.m. of the Georgia Guidestone. So that's where I got that sudden destruction range from. And the fact that we're below that, it's like, I just think this is manipulation. Again, this 322 falling below that, I think we can very easily V-bottom recovery up out of this, just like when we fell below it right here. I mean, there's not much of a difference in percentage down, roughly 56%. Tomorrow adds up to 56 in numerology, but I mean, right now we're down 18%. I don't expect us to continue to go down much farther, but 56%, yeah, that would be putting in a spring way too early. We've not even had a clear automatic rally, so that wouldn't make sense to me. I just, again, think this is a very manipulated fake out, shake out move. I could be wrong, but that's just my opinion on this.
Well, I think it was going to drop because the range kept it within like 21.5, 22.3, and it kept lowering.
Yeah.
But it wasn't really neat, like you said. I didn't even think about it like
I think I lost
lower,
you there.
but it could be simple. What was it?
I think I lost you. You were cutting out. Sorry.
Oh, I got to turn my input up a little bit. Sorry.
Okay, there you go.
But no, it didn't need to go any lower than it went. But it is. So it could be symbolic, or it could just be like it looks clean like a shakeout to me, because it didn't need to do that, and they did it anyway.
Right. And that's just simply to cause fear.
But it's more of a long too, because if it is
Right.
going to go up, then they're going to ride it off that, and that's where you make the money at, right?
Yeah, and they're the ones that are going to make that money, not most retail investors. The ones that are buying crypto and stocks off their phone.
Yeah, because they know the intricacies of it, but that's what we're talking about. And so you're saying that once it goes through this, this next 4 or 5 days, and the 13th and the 14th happen, when we go to that block, what do you think the ceiling is for that, with it being like a two of a high low? Like if we had a high low, what would that look like? And if it wasn't a high low, what is a healthy long that we're going to see here in the next week?
So if you're saying we come down to this block right here, that's the block?
No, I'm saying if we just regulated and just held where we're at and tried to get back up to 21.5, and let's say we close Sunday at 21.5, what do you see happening next week?
Oh, yeah, I see upside. I see what you're saying
Well,
now.
I know it's coming, but I didn't think it was going to get this low this week, and I actually had a long put in this week for next week, and whether that's right or wrong or indifferent. I thought the long was going to happen sooner, but with the full moon, I was betting against myself there, or I wasn't following the wolf pack, or following staunch advice. You know what I mean?
Right. Well, I mean, you're right though. I mean, you were following advice. You said you put in a long around the full moon. That's the time you typically want to long the full. You want to long the full moon. You don't want to short the full moon. It's typically bearish, So the fact that it's went even lower, it's only because it's still within the 5-day window of the full moon that came in on the 7th. So we're 1, 2, 3. This could be our low on the 3rd day after. Or it could be, like I said, around that 11th mark. It'd be the 12th. Yeah, it'd be the 12th. So around that 11th, 12th, 13th mark, where we actually get our final low. But this could be it, and we move on out. So, I mean, you were right by longing the full moon, but it just decided to, within this 3 to 5 day window after, continue to push down even lower, which is not uncommon. So, did your long get liquidated already? Because you said you had it set for next week.
Yeah, today it liquidated,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
I had
I
marked on
figured.
it, so
Yeah,
that's my fault.
yeah. I mean, but it's trial and error. I mean, some of my greatest life lessons I've learned from making mistakes, you know. And then it, I mean, if you were able to catch it right as it was getting ready to liquidate, you could have stopped, you could have exited your order and got ready to short the market, you know.
So,
And
yeah, I
that's
didn't think it was gonna go this low though. I was like,
yeah.
oh, we got this. Don't worry
I
about it.
didn't either, but there are videos recently over the last few months where I talk about this 1993, which was a Shemitah year, and it was a very powerful year for economics, life in general, and the markets as well. So I just stuck this 1993 horizontal range up as an accumulation over the last several months, and it's I mean, every time we've hit it and got above it, I've de-risked, and we saw this huge bull trap, which was at the end of October. We got our new moon, bullish energy, the 22nd, which was a microstructure reset, bullish energy, the 13th of the month of October, which was Bitcoin's last 13 day, a date of 13, in its 13-year anniversary before it turned 14 on Samhain, where we had a bullish energy all the way up until Samhain and Halloween, and then it rolled over, hit a high of 21,500, and sudden destruction. So we've been in this low ever since. So if this is just support, us holding support, much needed. Like, again, we got this breakout of 1993, but we never came back and retested it. Like, that, it would have been healthy. We don't have to, but it would have been healthy sooner rather than later. And
Yeah.
I just think this is a dip back into this bear flag, parallel channel, rising wedge, whatever you want to call it, and retest and push back up. But
So when you
only
say
time
bear
will
flag,
tell. Huh?
when you say bear flag, what does that mean as far as like what you're thinking when it gets into those zones?
Well, let's just look it up real quick, and it'd be easier for you to help understand if you've never just looked up bear flag pattern. But it tends to be a uprising wedge and channel that tends to have a breakout lower. That's what we see multiple times. So that's what I was looking at right here, was back in here when we fell. I know this is getting hard to see, but
It looks like that.
yeah, it looks like that, or what you can call a rising wedge or a parallel channel with a heart line. That's how I drew it, was a parallel channel with a top resistance, 1, 2, 3 resistance, came back, retested 18,700, 187, and broke out. But we have our bottom side too, that is support. We don't quite get there, support right here. But it's what I was using as kind of like a bear flag, as a potential to break down even lower to what I was considering 14,000 in the 14-year anniversary of Bitcoin. And I threw some even lower targets like 137, 13,700, the 33rd prime number, and etc. But I think the lowest one was like 11,900, 119, the mirror of 9/11, because we hit our recent low on November 9th, which is 11.9. So I was saying possibly 11,000 when we were in this possible bear flag that could break lower. So that's what I mean by bear flag. It's just a pattern and something we can pay attention to. And this one right here, the red and blue one, is what's called a digression trend. We were in this sell-off and a digression, and we kept hitting the bottom until we finally held the heart line and broke out. But we failed to hold support. Hit the heart line, failed to hold support at the bottom, broke through this digression trend. So just multiple ways for you to view TA at the same time and see where you're going to go potentially.
Right, right.
And it's a lot of the things that I share. I might not go in depth, but the more I get active in this community and building my own Discord, I plan to do lives where I can do Q&As and to the best of my ability. But another great example of this bear flag is right here, this first initial sell-off after the new moon on the 20th, which hit the 21st, which was our high, which 21st, 22nd of the month tends to bring a reset, recycle, change, and boom, 21st, 22nd, all the way into 223, and we sell off even more. From 223 to 224 in one day, Bitcoin fell 3.22%. You cannot make it up. But then we fell into a bear flag. Boom. And then sold off right down to the 223 exponential moving average. So you see how I've used just this number backwards over the last year, plus horizontal trading ranges and numerology, astrology, gematria to, level up my game. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's solid. Now, when we go into next week, what is the when you said upside? Like, when we talk about upside in numbers and numerology, like, what numbers are key points for you for it to hit and to continue on hitting and to keep breaking, different thresholds, theoretically?
It's really hard to say until we determine on what this week's close is going to be. Obviously, we're in a bearish pattern. We've got, three, I forget what these are called, but you get 3 straight candles down. That's a certain pattern. But anyways, like I said, if we hold support of this psychologically 20,000, 1993, whatever, I can easily see half of this being bought up right back, or even possibly a Twin Towers candle, very similar, coming all the way back up to 22,700, 22,200, 22,300. I don't fully see us engulfing this in a bullish momentum, but I think we can very well just see all this bought right back up in a matter of days. With any holidays coming up? No, not that I'm aware of. They're not going to consider the 20th a holiday, even though it's the true Easter, I do believe, from my research. Ostara, but whatever. But I could definitely see, where are we at, weekly time frame? Yeah, I could definitely see at least 21,500 over the next week, over the next 7 days being reclaimed, because again, that is a crucial range. We have no weekly closes, just wicks to this level until right now. So we don't even want to close this week below 21,500, and if we do, we definitely want to close the next one at 21,500 and $1, something.
So you don't think that we're gonna see a bigger uprise next week? Because I thought next week was I thought there was an eclipse coming up or something this month, or is that just in April and May?
April 20th and May 5th, Cinco de Mayo. What we have this month is the spring equinox, or the vernal equinox. Got that pulled up for you right here. Oh no. Yeah, the new moon is also the bullish time period for the market, 21st, 22nd, leading into Aries, the start of the new zodiac. But it's the spring equinox, the vernal equinox, which is, known for newness, spring, where life and regeneration starts again, where you should truly start your New Year's resolutions, because it's spring, not the middle of winter like in January. But it's considered to be the time period by the Druids known as the light of the earth. So, the rest of this week and this month, it could be very bullish. And we have plenty of confirmation on another chart right here of a February leading into a March rally all the way into May. And then you sell in May and return in September, sell, and then May, September, shine like gold come December when you get another sell off again. But again, February, March time period. Getting this, sell off into February and a bounce. Go right back here to 2021. We're leading into February. Get a pull back in March and another rise into April. So, last year, the Super Bowl, we sold off from, I think it was, we sold off on the 2/16 date. February 16th was where we right after the Super Bowl, sold off right here into March, and then, kept on into April 5th, which was Satoshi Nakamoto's birthday, where we hit 47K when he turned 47, hit the top side of this descending wedge pattern, falling wedge, which is a 68% chance of a breakout, and we got that. What are we retesting now? The outside of this descending wedge. This is bullish, you guys. We're going to see continuation back up to the 382, the 0.5 at least, and it can happen in a matter of, look how much time is left before the first eclipse. 35 days. The 3 5s. 5 plus 5 plus 5 is 15, or 555. The angel number. So we got about a month before, I think this is accumulation, retest, and a bounce up, like clearly. But over the next week, I think we should take it slow. But Bitcoin can also engulf this weekly candle, and like you said, we can be back up here to 23,700 easily. That'd take us right back to this 223 exponential moving average on the weekly time frame and above it. On the weekly, I don't get to see the 322, but there's just not enough data yet.
Okay, so when you go from March to April and how you were just in February to March, the sell-off to the buyback, when you get into this year in April and May, I thought that Jordan was saying that the April eclipse was going to be negative in some fashion. So like in my mind, I thought it was going to be like a sell-off in April, and then May was the spring, but I think I have that wrong. I'm not sure.
No, I think you've got it exactly right. You're just misinterpreting. What he's saying, I believe, is that we're going to get the continuation of our automatic rally up to 33 to around $43,000. I'm going to be conservative. He's saying possibly it'd be nice to see 48K on Satoshi Nakamoto's 48th birthday by 4 or 5. That's hopium, and we know that. But what he's talking about is we plan to get our first initial A leading into Cinco de Mayo, and then our B and C coming back down, setting our low. So we'll get a pullback after the solar eclipse, because the bullish energy is going to lead into that time period, and then it's going to recycle into the next lunar eclipse, which is Cinco de Mayo. So we're going to get a pullback into the lunar eclipse, a pump, and it's going to be a lower high more than likely, and that's going to set us back down into possibly retesting or holding a higher low, or possibly even setting a spring where we come down and set even a lower low than our 15,500. But the spring is the hardest thing to call in Wyckoff reaccumulation schematics, and we may not even set it. We don't have to set it, but that, I believe, is what he is working his way into sharing with us over the next few months.
Right. Because I'm trying to figure out my strategy and how I'm gonna sell off and shit like that. So like when you get into late March or late April for that matter, there should be a sell-off point in that M shape at the top that you drew. So you're saying like between the 20th and the 5th will be highly volatile, pretty much?
Yeah, because again, it's the new moon, the start of traditional Easter if we really practiced it, but it's the spring equinox. It's the 21st, 22nd, which I shared with you earlier, is a microstructure reset, recycle in the market. That creator destroyer number, that 22, but it's also leading into the 23rd day of the year. We know this year it's March 22, 322, so it's the skull and bones number, the 13th Lucas number in the 223 year. So I'm expecting it to be very volatile around that time period, yes, because it's also leading into April, which is known as the month of Aphrodite or Venus, love. So I'm expecting this crypto market to give us some love.
Yeah, you got that right.
Not financial advice.
So 322 is going to be the reset, and it's going to be highly volatile. And if we get a pump into that, then you would see a decline out of the 22.
Right, because remember, just like right back here, and I was sharing with you on another chart, we got our high on on the 20th, which was the new moon. So if this month coming up on March, the new moon is the 21st, like we got our high last month in February on the 21st, and the 22nd gave us a reset, and the 22nd is 322 coming up. Well, we might get our high this month around the 21st, 3 to 5 days before, or 3 to 5 days after. That 322 could lead us up even higher after the new moon, because it's still a 3 to 5 day window after the new moon. So remember that as well. But we're in the 223 and the 322 year, so let's consider this window to be even 3 to 5 to 7 days before and 3 to 5 to 7 days after, because again 2 plus 2 plus 3 is 7 this year, coming out of the 7-year sabbatical cycle. So let's remember this window can last even longer sometimes, especially around this February March time period. Great instances right back here. We had our full moon early in February, but this rally lasted a full 10 days before we got a pullback after the new moon in February of 2021. So February and March is tricky around these new moons sometimes. Full moons, new moons.
Sorry, I had to get up for a second.
No, you're fine.
Well, that explains the next week, or better than that, the next 2 weeks in some better limelight, because I was missing the just a little insight week to week, because that's why I wanted to join the Patreon and the group, so that I could get even more insight on the day to day.
Right. And I think Jordan's a lot like me. Like sometimes we speak, especially in our videos, when we get in that flow creative state, I think we just get in a zone where we feel like everybody that's going to listen knows exactly what we're talking about. And I'm not speaking for him, I just know that's personally for me, but I can see how any other creator could do that. Get in this state of everything I say they're going to know. They're not going to have to look it up. So I'm just glad I'm able to, in my work, make my videos instead of 30 minutes, like 40, an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours long sometimes, and just actually try and break down just multiple connections in various ways of, what he's saying, what others are saying that I follow, sprinkled in with the mad scientist behind the scenes and my truths, and just try and give you a more in-depth view. And I ask a lot of questions. I'm like, can we see Bitcoin hit 69K in the year of Saturn?
Oh, man.
And I was back here screaming this 3 weeks before we saw Bitcoin hit 69K, and it didn't go a penny over. So like sometimes I speak in a way of, I'm putting it out there, but like I'm gonna make you do the work to get it. I saw that 69K top coming. I really thought 72 was going to be our blow off top around the December 4th time period, but that was the day we sold off in the markets, all the way back down to this golden pocket range right here at a $41,000. So right here, I thought we were going to get our blow off top, our final push, but I was completely wrong. And I was using it all based off of the fact that Bitcoin usually hits an all-time high in December or the fourth quarter, and then tends to follow by an all-time low around the same time period. And I just knew that even before Jordan shared it, because I was following technical analysis using past data, combining it with future outcomes around the December time frame. And then here we are, December lows. So just multiple times Bitcoin has done this in 13 years. So I thought it was just gonna repeat. What a fool. So we gotta, I think this is more mature though. We got a double top.
Is it the odd number?
Well,
like in art, how they do only 3? They do everything in 3s in art for like the aesthetic almost.
Right.
Like in an abstract way. Like
Right.
did it not hit it because it was the 3rd cycle or something? I don't know.
That's a good, it was the 3rd happening too, right? Correct?
Yeah, I'm just thinking.
So,
I don't even know if it was the 3rd one. I'm just thinking.
I really think it did it because of Saturn's return and the year of Saturn and everything we were in 2021, Saturn equaling 21. I really think it was just based off astrology, numerology, and gematria. Ancient Hermeticism practices, etc. That's what I really think it was based off of. That's why I think I was able to, even in my early stages, still at that time period, putting out mediocre content, I was able to, ask, can we see Bitcoin hit 69K in the near distant future, and, into fruition it came.
I like those broad questions when you look at a year, maybe. When you're so ahead of yourself in the fashion that you are, you can sit back and ask that kind of question. You know what I mean? And then kind of back engineer it, I guess, in a way.
Correct. Yeah. And I mean, I've made plenty of mistakes. I'm a stutter. Sometimes I'll talk about a bullish momentum and I'm saying bearish. I mean, I just get shy. I never thought I'd be doing this, and I'm still, like I said, the tortoise just coming out of the shell. But remember, the tortoise beats the hare. We're in the year of the hare. So, but yeah, I'm just glad to be doing it. I've helped people from Bangladesh, Spain, and all over the world make money, and some people have sent $13,000 messages my way saying, I've made this because of a video of yours, and it's like, I did what?
Yes, sir.
A guy 45 minutes down the road that I plan on meeting in the future created a YouTube channel called The Sandwich of Coherency, and puts out real news that he thinks people should really actually pay attention to, like the fact that everybody was worried about stimulus checks, but they're out here trying to pass bills to have sex with 12-year-olds while you're worried about getting that check. So he said he started his channel because of my channel, and it's like, what? And the student became the teacher.
Well, I didn't even realize that they did the remote voting shit from home so they could pass all that stuff in the way that they did, because if they were all there, there's no way they could have pork barreled all that stuff. You know what I mean?
And who was reading $8,000 packets, paper packets?
Nobody.
Nobody. Some of us truthers, but that's it.
They should be fired, dude. I'm sick of it.
Yeah. Well, it's just a game. Everything's played out. Governares mentes, to govern the mind. We're all under mind control 56, government 56.
Latin scripture.
Yeah. Some people don't believe we're under mind control, though.
Oh, well. When I look at my grandma, she watches the news every damn day, and it's like talking to a wall.
Let us pray.
Yeah, it's like talking to a wall.
Yeah. I go to life out in the matrix every day, and I'm plugged in, tuned into the nature. Trying to raise the frequency, raise the vibrations, trying to share the truth with people. My truth, at least, teach them how to come up with their own. But it's like they still want to, I don't know, just follow the distractions and the nonsense and the Johnny and Amber Heard.
People get in their own ways a lot before they have clarity.
Yeah. Well, we are our own biggest enemy and our biggest critic. We each have that devil and that Jesus on our shoulder, pulling us, the two angels pulling us. It's our choice which way to go.
That this year specifically, if it's his birthday, also.
That's the duality of it, right? Like Fable. You ever play that game?
Back in the day, but I don't really remember it. I was young and I didn't get a lot of turns because my older cousin played it mostly.
I hear that. I was the oldest, so I kind of hogged it.
Yeah. I'm gonna lower that guy's volume down a little bit. I don't think he was interacting with us. But what's everybody else doing that just joined? How was y'all's night? Feel free to unmic. We've just been kick back, relax, grabbing our favorite drink, lighting up our favorite strand, having a Thursday night, Thors-Day night hangout, talking about TA, all kinds of things.
I just cracked a two-hearted ale. It's a Bell's Brewery IPA from Kalamazoo, Michigan.
Yeah.
I love that stuff. I went to school up there, Western Michigan University, so like the IPAs be hitting home.
WMU, yeah.
Yes, sir, Western.
I'm a big Buckeyes fan, you guys. Born out of Ohio.
Oh, why you gotta do that to me, man?
I'm sorry. It's just I just
like
never.
that now.
I I just never forgot where I came from, you know, and I don't know.
It's all love.
I really like their helmets, that's all. And they're like a pot leaf.
Oh, that's true. I always thought that too. I was like, "What's a Buckeye?"
Don't eat them. Like, deers can eat them, but humans can't. They're poisonous. But they're considered good luck symbols up there, like Lucky Charms.
Hey, you got somebody in the comments asking if you got a YouTube channel. I don't know if you got a hot link for it, but I was gonna drop it, but I figured.
Yeah, if you can drop it, I really don't know how to do all that. I tried to find my
Yeah.
hot link the other day for it, and I didn't know where. AMAD,
Yeah.
pleasure to have your support and everything. Again, my YouTube, AMAD, has just like 60 or so of my 3 years ago videos, none of my newest work. If you want to look at the screen, you can follow me at the Daily Candle Close News on Facebook, where I have 58 followers so far. I don't care. My last view had 58 views. Imagine that, yesterday. You can follow me at Rumble, Honest Abe. I use Rumble because it's a free freedom of speech platform. You know, you don't get censored and none of your videos get strikes for saying whatever you want. But it's capital H Honest, capital A B3 123. Using numerology right there, Honest Abe. And I've of course got the YouTube that I'll be continuing to add the rest of my 200 plus videos on over time. And I'm working on my Discord for all you to help join and, you know, get the community growing, and a website as well. So that's where you can follow me for now. And thank you for the interest and support. And, you know, forgive my mistakes, or if your views don't match my views. You know, I'm just out here sharing my truth, documenting my journey into the digital decade in this time capsule for my son. Alright, there. Oh, that looks so nice. I love it. Thank you, RC Moore. Appreciate that, RC3 Moore. But yeah, I just use a lot of my research and knowledge from my mentors, Logan, Waters, Tommy Truthful, any and everybody out there that I correlate with and align with. You know, so I just put it all into one and go with it from there. Share my truth along the way. I gotta just always get back to my mentors. That's why I do the work now the way that I do. I'm manifesting a meetup with Waters, a live, something.
Yes, sir.
I want him to be active with me on 322 on my event hangout, Wednesday night event hangout, when I do my presentation of 322 and the 223 for all you guys. I'm excited.
Well, is he gonna be live, or is he gonna be there with you?
I don't know. I'm hoping somebody, one of the mods, can you know, maybe get in touch with him and see if he's free. I've reached out to him before, shared some of my videos with him, like my Avatar 2 video or my Queen video, where I called 9 months in advance the Queen's death this year, the ascension of the Queen, I called it. And then we saw it on Virgin Mary's birthday. So, you know, I was only calling that by the Platinum Jubilee, by the way, and just simply the color purple. That's how I was able to determine that. She was reaching her 33rd degree, the 7th chakra. Yeah. But I
have your Rumble.
Huh?
Could you throw your Rumble back up?
I can right here, yeah.
Okay. I'm getting it for the one from me.
Alright.
What are you trying to say there? Hones tab? Or Hones tab?
Homes tab.
Your name?
My name?
No, the name on your Rumble is Hones tab.
Oh, it's Honest Abe.
Damn, I knew I was reading it wrong.
Yeah, Honest Abe, like Abraham Lincoln, AB3. It's supposed to be ABE, but I used a 3 for ABC, 1, 2, 3. Honest, 1, 2, 3. But
I said,
yeah.
I said owns tab.
Yeah. But I've even posted like our 3-3 live hangout. Our Friday night Under the Silver Lake movie night. I posted that movie. I posted the Thursday night hangout last week, and a few other things that we've done collectively here now. Or maybe that's it. But here's my Avatar 2 decode. I kind of shared my thoughts on what James Cameron was sharing with the world throughout that movie. It's a great one. I want you to watch it before you watch my video. I don't give no spoilers, but I definitely do. Again, speak on what I think what I think he's trying to share with the world through his movie. A little numerology and gematria and stuff, but there's this one right here, my Queen Bee ritual. Again, where I was able to share how I knew why back in my Year of the Tiger decode, wherever it's at. It was right around this time. Year of the Tiger Part 2. I did 2 of them. But I was able to share in those how I thought the Queen was going to ascend last year, 9 months in advance, just by using numerology, gematria, and the code. Yeah, I would download Rumble RC3 more.
My homie's telling me.
I mean, it's a great place for people that produce content to even be monetized. They do monetization, so the more following I get, obviously I'll get paid for the views. It's kind of like YouTube, but again, it's a freedom of speech platform. And I've had YouTube's taken away, Facebook's struck down, and Rumble ain't ever, for 2 years, has never even sent me a message. So
yeah, no, I like that, and I'm hoping that we see that across the board, because you're hearing about it in I think the Supreme Court, or at least the houses and the Senate, that they're trying to give us our free rights back. Right. It's BS. Come to this point, but we got to fight for our right to party.
You know it. Party and bullshit and party and bullshit.
Oh yeah. Wait, which one is that though? That's the throwback. Hold on.
That was Snoop Dogg and them, wasn't it? I'm about to go to a Snoop Dogg concert in August, you guys, here in North Carolina.
Is that the Wiz? Is that the Wiz?
Yeah, the Wiz Khalifa and them. Yeah, that's the one I'm going to.
That's what's up.
Yeah. Who else is gonna be there? I forgot, but yeah, it's gonna be a slew of them.
Man, I seen that they were going on tour like that. It's the high school reunion with Mac and Dev reunion.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, that's lit.
Yeah, a bunch of us from work are going, and I decided, I'm gonna get my mom to help me watch my son, and I'm just gonna go and
enjoy yourself,
party and bullshit.
Enjoy yourself, yes sir.
Yeah.
That's Biggie. That was Biggie. I'm tripping. That was Biggie.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, that's what it was. It was a Snoop Dogg era, Biggie, Tupac, Snoop Dogg era, Dr. Dre, Roysta 5,
yes,
not Roysta 5'9", but KRS-One. Oh, KRS-One. A truther.
Legendary. A
real truther.
They didn't put him on the same way, did they?
No, he couldn't keep his mouth shut. They should have just added him to the Wu-Tang Clan. I'll behave.
Dungeon. I really like the Goody Mob down there in Atlanta, though.
Yeah. I lived in North Alabama for several years, about 12 years, so I was all about the Atlanta rap, that southern rap from Trey and Bun B, Scarface out in Houston, and any Alabama or Tennessee rapper.
Have you listened to any Big Crit?
Any what?
It's Big Crit, King Remembered in Time.
Oh, why does that sound familiar?
Oh man, I'll have to link a song or two. Man,
most definitely.
He's from Mississippi, Mobile, Mississippi.
Huh? Because you got Mobile, Alabama too, right there.
Oh, that's
South
it. No, that's it.
Okay,
You're
so
right.
he's okay. That's why it's familiar. Because I used to live in South Alabama before I moved to North Alabama a few years ago. In 2018, I moved up here, and
he's got. I got you one right there.
So I thought that's you had him in Mobile, Alabama, and then you had throw some D's on that. Rich Boy. He was from Mobile, as well.
Oh really?
Yeah. Mobile, Alabama.
It's
Julio Jones. Julio Jones is from there. Well, he's from Foley. 20 minutes down the road, but.
No, that was my MySpace song. throw some D's on it. And I was in
wow.
like 8th grade.
Wow.
Throw some D's on it.
Yeah. Yeah. That was they used to ride around all Mobile, all South Alabama in dubbed out cars and blasting that song. Like, it got old. But it was always a scene. Like, it'd be not just one car, it'd be 10, 20, 30 cars deep doing it, you know. Like it was the movie shot, the movie you know, music video of the show.
Yeah, T.I.'s movie with the rollerblades. I forget what it's called.
ATL.
They was always pulling up in the parking lot.
Yeah, ATL. That's T.I. was one of my favorite rappers. Hey,
That's a
Pinchy Gordo, take care.
Adios.
Hasta mañana.
Hasta luego. Yeah, I worked with in landscaping. I worked with a Guatemalan man, and man, he was legendary.
Yeah,
He was legendary.
I work with some Mexicans in the restaurant industry, so that's the only little Spanish I know is I need dos papa para aquí. I need 2 potatoes to go.
Yeah, it's different in Central America though a little bit, and you know, my Guatemalan amigo Noel, he was talking about the difference between, you know, North America and Central America and then South America, but it's interesting, you know.
Most definitely, it is definitely interesting.
But to get back to the some TA, I had a question for you to bring in, like a little bit of symbolism, but like you had that fib up for Bitcoin potentially going on its, you know, uphill climb here in the next month or two. And
This one?
No, the one where it's going up. I don't like that one.
This one?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So 618 is the area code for you know, not the area I was born, but, you know, an area I spent a lot of time in. And you pulled that graph, you pulled that chart, you know, that you, or that you know, that you drew, and
This
it goes
drawing.
to 618. And I'm kind of wanting to talk about those fib extensions a little bit more as we progress through March into April and May, because you summarized March really well for me, and now I want to try and get into April and May, you know, if time allots, you know, as far as the difference, because it gets intricate, you know what I mean, and all the different ways you could look at it, and the rises and the falls, because from the way you talk about it, it seems like you're in your mind, you're open to each outcome, whether it's a rise or a fall.
Correct. So what we'll do is we'll match, and I don't like to do this, obviously it's plagiarism, and what I just did was draw a bars pattern, and I'm gonna try and line it up pretty much from this breakout right here, which is what I believe this is, leading into, you know, a retest, kind of like a double bottom before another breakout, and we kind of get the same thing right there as well, and we get another breakout. So if I just copy this from right here all the way to this C19 sell-off, and I bring it over here, it could show us possibly some sort of Fibonacci retracement levels that we could be looking at after hitting that 702, the golden pocket, if we hit 42K, you know, right there around 420. Saturn equals 42. Okay, 6 planet from the sun, 4 plus 2 is 6. So we could possibly pump up to that 42K. 33 is, you know, being very conservative, and 37 as well, that 618 you were talking about. So either way, we could easily hang back out around this 618 for just a short bit of time, lose it, you know, get rejected, come back down, hold support, go back through it, set a lower high, and then come back down. But that's if we were to continue to repeat 2018's automatic rally. But I don't expect it to be exactly like this, but it could be very similar, where we maybe even come sharply down to the 382 with the volatility around the Cinco de Mayo eclipse, but, you know, we shoot right back up in this zigzag pattern that ends up leading back down to this trend line, or potentially a spring. Like I said, this would just end up falling below our lower low, if we set a spring. And that's where I see the 14,000 to 11,000 in the cards, if we were to ever see it again. So hopefully by doing that bars pattern and giving you kind of like a, instead of me just drawing nonsense, it kind of gives you some confluence as to how you can maybe see the fib levels playing out in the near distant future. If we were to, again, to just pull that and kind of try and line it up with this breakout right here, you could easily see it just hang around these, because they're important. Everything in life has a Fibonacci sequence. So these levels, like you said, are going to come into play. So hopefully this gives you an idea of what to expect.
Okay. And I don't mean to, I really like that. I mean, it's it's plagiarism, but it's nice. And I think that but it's simple.
Right.
But I think that you were ahead of your time.
Oh, man, thank you. That's humbling.
Well, I think with the 11,000, we did, when we were in that FTX debacle, I think we that's when we dipped, all winter, and whether we hit it then or later this year, that's why I'm saying I think you were ahead of your time on that prediction. But I was thinking it was going to hit 10, just to be cute. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
But
I was thinking at the lowest, like if we did break 11,900, because we see this dot I just put, this arrow was the low of 11.9. We double bottomed and then came out. But I was just thinking that if we went past 11,900, and we know that ties us into motherboard and everything, because that's what we live on, giving us that 119 when I spell it right. But I was thinking it would be 99,069 or 99.96 or some things like that, right under 10K. Is what we would see. But like that's hopium. That was like, I was only saying that because last year was the year of Jupiter, and that's Jupiter gives us 99, so that's why I was thinking, we could possibly see that. But like that was clearly hopium, and I don't expect us to see it. But we live on a motherboard. The all-seeing eye controls the motherboard, which is the machine or the wolf's head. They teach us this in Skull and Bones because they're also known as two other names. I don't have it found right now, but
is this a new day? Is this a new day? A new day way of think? Like, I don't know what this is.
What is the wolf's head right there? The scrolling key or the wolf's head. The wolf's head is also known as the machine. That runs the Matrix reality, like in the Matrix. But you don't know what is RC3 more?
Skull and Bones. I've never heard of that.
Oh,
the way you reference that.
You don't know what Skull and Bones is? Let's teach you. Well, Skull and Bones is a fraternity of brotherhood, and it is called the Brotherhood of Death, or the Order, or Order 322, or also known as the Bonesmen. All right, it is one of the big three societies at Yale, and the other two again are Skull and Key and the Wolf's Head. It was created by the Russell Trust Association. These are known 33rd degree Freemasons. Examples are Barack Obama, George Bush, and his father. As a matter of fact, George Bush Sr. in 1968 graduated Skull and Bones Yale University, this fraternity. He also coined 911, the emergency code, in that year. He also coined the word coronavirus that year. They also started the plans for 9/11, or the construction for the Twin Towers that year, and then 33 years later, they bring them towers down because he was a 33rd degree Freemason. So these are some of the elite. It's just one fraction of them. Again, there are many, the Freemasons, the Jesuits,
So to go back into history and touch on what you're speaking on, when we talk about Freemasons and the Ark of the Covenant and things of that nature, I don't know if you want to take it there, but we were talking about like Vikings and Scandinavian myth and lore, and personally, I'm Irish, so like I think that the Vikings resonates with me, whether it's, ancestral or however you want to look at it. But my dad, whether it's true or false, my dad, he was military, my grandpa, he was military, everybody's military, and he says that it goes back to the Crusades. And I believe in, I believe in history and, the Ark of the Covenant and things of that nature. And at what point did the Freemasons become like uber fucking haters when they were trying to reclaim a religion in a way? Like, I don't know if that's just like demonic powers to at the time to be, just fighting for fucking ultimate bragging rights, but I don't know how to look at it, you know what I mean?
I'm not sure on that question about the time frame of that. I can contest that I have known Freemasons in my bloodline, and I do know, not specifically some of them, but I do know some Freemasons believe that our creator was selfish. So I do see at some point what you're saying. There was a time where they started becoming more, like you said, evil or demonic or whatever. But I just know the only timeline I know was the creation of the Illuminati in 1776, and then roughly 10 years later was the creation of the Freemasons, which is again just simply a arm of what you see on the screen, the Knights Templar cartel. But that's the Mexican version. But you really want to go to the Knights Templar, all the way back in time to the real first bankers, talked about in the Bible, again giving us that crescent cross, that red and white. Think about the cross we see on the red cross that we give all our money to, that we know is just money laundering. But this ties us all the way back to the Brotherhood of Death in Yale University. Their crest is the cross. It's an X, but it's a cross, red and white. So that's why you saw the red and white Chiefs win Super Bowl 57, because, well, red and white gives you 57. And that's why you saw South Carolina Gamecocks women just win the NCAA championship for women. Red and white. It is alchemy.
Interesting.
It is. But I just think it dates back to a birthing ritual and a birthing of the Knights Templar, or possibly an upcoming birthing of the Antichrist, Archangel Michael, where we'll see the fallen ones, aka aliens. Take the A and the N away, it spells lie. They tell you Neil Armstrong landed on the moon. Take the N and the A away from his name, it spells lie. So
I'm tracking.
Yeah, but it's that year, the rabbit year, down the rabbit hole.
Oh no! Don't tell me that.
well, the rabbit, Bugs Bunny was the first.
I'm not looking to find the rabbit.
Yeah, Bugs Bunny, the rabbit, was the first one to ever be abducted by a UFO on television, preemptively programming our minds for years. So think about that.
It's a loony, man.
Yeah, it's a loony, all right. Looney Tune.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
So, I was looking at, to switch to some altcoin action, I was looking at a couple of the, as soon as I get in the Discord, I'm looking around, there's hella shit to get into. I don't even know where to click, right? And, I ended up clicking into somewhere. Oh, I went into what Jordan's buying, and
Jasmine? I've been in it too. Is that what you're talking
about? Well, no, it's just all of them in general. And I thought I saw Jasmine on Binance, and I didn't really like Binance in general, so I wasn't really getting into any of its coins. But Jasmine was on there, I think, and but I was thinking about there's VTHOR, Theta Fuel, and I don't know what these projects are, and I was wondering if you knew anything about Theta or VTHOR.
VTHOR, I know about VTHOR only because I'm a long-term, multiple year now holding VeChain. It's a high percentage of my bag, and I've dollar cost averaged in since 2019 in the bear flu. De-risked just a small portion to use as a as my trading portfolio, but I've still got 90% of my bag in VeChain. I knew what I was doing. I knew I was missing profits there. I didn't care because I believe I know what this project is in the future, at least for authenticity on the blockchain and proof of purchase, etc. So this is something I've been dollar cost averaging into. So VTHOR is the gas token. Like Ethereum, you have to pay gas fees, but when you hold VeChain in certain participating wallets, etc., ledgers, whatnot, you get what is airdropped to you VTHOR, which is the gas token to use VeChain instead of having to use VeChain or other funds to pay for your gas. I use the Garda wallet and the VTHOR wallet, and I gain passive income in my VeChain every day, all day, even in the middle of the night when I gotta wake up and go potty.
Hold on now. I didn't know VeChain was a DeFi program like that.
Well, I mean, for as long as I've held it in Garda and VTHOR, the VeChain VTHOR wallet, whatever it is, I've gained VTHOR just for holding VeChain, and then you can buy VTHOR as well. I think it's still under a penny, fractions of a penny. So if VeChain goes to $5 one day, what you think VTHOR is going to do? Go 30 cents, $1? I mean,
Easily.
But yeah, VeChain's that's the only one I know about personally. I'm big into dollar cost averaging into Theta and T-Fuel because of what I think they're going to do with I believe it's gaming, if I'm not mistaken, right there. It's something that I'm waiting for the right time to start my first initial investment in, because I know it's already had a run. Theta has, but I do hold a little bit, but only a few, so I don't really know much about it.
Well, I think when you look at these scales and you look at the high uprise of VeChain right there, I think a lot of coins have that. And I think that Bitcoin halving in 2025 is going to be the next one of those, because that's what it seems to be the talk of the town.
Right. Yeah, if you got in March like I did, you were able to, again, I only de-risked a small portion, but we rode this thing up almost 5,900%, almost 6,000%. We hit this 702, this is a bearish fib pool. Bearish, by the way. But we hit this 702 on the bearish fib pool, and I knew that was a place to get out. But I can't remember. I had a bigger fib pool. Yeah, it's right here. Okay, no, that is the 702 of the right fib pool. I'm sorry. It was around 21 cents. Yeah, Saturn equaled 21. That was the area I de-risked a small portion to use as a trading portfolio for me.
Nice.
And I bought it at under a penny too, so it was a huge opportunity for me.
I just started accumulating my bag, and I made sure to get some VeChain because Money Man dropped it in a song. He said, "I'm buy a little VeChain, buy a little polka dot."
Yeah, I've heard that song.
Damn, I need to get me some VeChain.
Yeah. But
Abraham,
what is going in?
Did somebody say my name?
Yeah, Abraham, what's up, man? It's Ronan, Mystic Ronan.
Bird Dog Crypto Ronan. What's up, brother?
Yo.
How are you?
Oh, by the way, I'm great, man. By the way, is like a YouTube. In fact, some of the YouTube founders started Theta. Just a FYI.
Okay. Okay, that's nice. So it's like some of us, a group of people like us that started it.
I mean, unless you're a CEO of YouTube, I don't know.
Oh, okay. I see. No, I'm not. I'm CEO of my life.
Yeah, boys, they're doing. It's basically blockchain YouTube. But bros, I look for deeper cuts for the bigger gains. Out of the top.
That.
High risk, high reward.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, and it's not even that high risk.
Right.
It's cheap.
It's like I'll throw one at you guys. LCX, right? LCX is, they claim, they're one of the most regulated cryptos. They are huge in Asia. just like Jasmine. By the way, Jasmine is huge in Asia. So LCX is one to watch out for. It's they're the Asian lizard class are very big into it. So if you want to invest in the parasitic lizard class, LCX is. If you like Jasmine, eyes out on it. Just FYI. So
Okay.
I invested in Jasmine because it was down 99%. It's down 95, so it don't look like a bad. It hit 95%, so it don't look bad.
Yeah, and I'm a little bit more of a fundamental analysis guy. A TA also, but I'm more of that concept. But I don't want to interrupt, man. I'm just chilling.
No,
Just wanna say,
you're good. I appreciate the knowledge on data.
the low cap thing, guys. I look for deep cuts, bro.
Deep cuts.
That's what I'm telling my homie, because my homie, he's an XRP beta almost, and he's starting to now, since I peeped in the waters above, he's starting to now, see the inner workings a little bit more, because he was like, he held his bag, Abe, through that V chain, and he had his portfolio at like 30 grand, and he didn't do nothing. He just held. And I was like,
Magic, lovely stuff.
like, not even knowing nothing. I'm like, man, why didn't you take that money and run? Period.
His
Like,
V-chain bag was 30 grand.
well, it was a couple other things. But the V chain was a lot of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'll say this: my V-chain bag was just about 30 grand alone, and I knew that. I knew I was missing out on profits. My XRP bag was more than double that, and I knew I was missing out on profits. But I'm here again to leave my crypto for my son to do with.
Right.
This is not for me.
I'm sorry. I want to give some knowledge real quick on how this works. For example, VeChain, and yes, you get modest rewards. What you're actually doing is you're investing in a validator node.
Correct.
And so that is actually, when you're staking, you're actually helping the blockchain from a proof of stake concept.
I drank it late the other night.
Sorry, I'm slow. I'm gonna follow you.
Yeah, so this is for those who don't know how some of this works. Like, you're basically investing in a validator node, and so as it helps the blockchain, it charges little fees along the way, and that's how you get your rewards. As far as that goes,
so that's through the VThor wallet, essentially.
Yeah, you can, but there's the VThor wallet. That's a a VeChain approved type wallet. You do earn. And honestly, if you were to put together like a million, I think you need like a million VeChain. You can make your own node, but there's other third-party sites where everyone puts in and they build up to 1 million and they make their own node based on other people's staking.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know that at all.
I didn't know that part neither. I knew about holding enough VeChain to make your own node, etc. Kevin Cage taught me that years ago.
Yeah, so there's third parties where not in the VThor wallet, just in other places, right? You join their node, right? And so they're using other people's money.
Is that a security? I'll behave.
Yeah, so that's just how it kind of works in a
yeah, I was being facetious.
Very generic way.
Yeah, I don't think it's no Bernie Madoff scandal.
No.
So it's solid. But for me, just know I like to take a lot of bigger swings because I like more X's. Also,
that LCX didn't have any big swings, so you peeped at that one, but give me one that's got a big swing.
It's suppressed, kind of like XRP, because I told it's essentially the Asia lizard class as opposed to the North American lizard class, like XRP.
It just pumped 435% in a matter of days. Like, that's a huge swing.
Oh, on the big
ABC.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking at that one chart you showed, and it didn't look like. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean that's just from its inception date. It's down 95%, but recently it just pumped 435%.
Oh, Jesus!
It's been chill and suppressed, and this is new. Like, how old is that pump?
I mean, this just came in on January 2nd all the way to January 25th. So less than a month, it pumped 435%. Its automatic rally is done. Like, it's coming back down.
That's been very common for a lot of cryptos outside of the top 100. That's why I like these. There's so many cryptos out there that do that. And yes, it's going down just like every other crypto. So you probably won't get back to those original January levels that I'm looking at. Sorry, I'm looking at my phone screen. I'm not on a computer, but I'm just throwing it out there. Do your own research, but it's one of those lizard approved ones.
Yeah, we're at 8 cents now, holding the 223 exponential moving average now that we finally got that in data going back since July, the first time we got back above it. So that is crucial too. So if we hold support, we could go up for one more move. Who knows? But that 3 cent January low is the low. So I mean, 3 to 8 cents, what's the difference if this thing goes all the way back up to 50 plus cents? That's we're splitting hairs. 67 cents it opened at.
No, I didn't even look at the chart 100%, so I misspoke there. I apologize.
No, you're fine. I didn't know it pumped 435%. I just knew it went up some.
Yeah, there's some hidden gems out there, guys. There's Parsec, PRQ. There's look up I think it's XPX is another one. These are super low caps, but they have very real utility and very real backing. Put in Parsec's like PRQ.
Okay, Parsec's PRQ.
PRQ.
Oh, PRQ. I said PAQ.
Talk about the dexes after this, because where are you buying these at? And like just dexes in general, just like leave me fucking
Yeah, my brother. So one thing I do is I have a course, but I'm rolling out a real professional course. DeFi's the way. So what you need is there's other middle exchange, what I call middle exchanges, like BitTrue, MEXC.
I use BitTrue.
Yeah, BitTrue's good, and MEXC and Bybit, and there's several others like XT. These are what I consider middle, because what I do is I get on and off ramps, and then I go through like a BitTrue, and then I send it to my hot wallet, my MetaMask wallet. So, for example, I could buy XRP on the Binance Smart Chain. So I teach DeFi, so I can buy any crypto I want. No one can stop me, no matter what, because I deal in non-KYC. I have a VPN on my computer. No one can stop me. So there's levels to this crypto game. This is what I try and teach. So one school of thought is like, let's just say PRQ, and it might be on a big exchange, I don't know, but you hear it's going to go to Coinbase next month, and the school of thought is you get a Coinbase bump, right? So you kind of buy it before the masses, before that Coinbase app grab. So that's another just hack, so to speak. You go, oh, is it going to get a Binance listing? Okay, cool, I'm going to buy it now, because you do the extra work and you go and dig in. Now you can also go to, just like CoinGecko, you just look at markets, it'll show you where it's the pairing that it's being done. So you got to do a little extra legwork to get some of these real underground coins that have real upside to them.
Yeah, as far as DeFi goes, I've learned a lot through Whiteboard Crypto on YouTube, and he does a lot of like informational like visualizations of like DAGs and money markets and liquidation pool, like all that stuff. But DeFi is like they're just so hidden. Like the projects are out there and they're functioning, but they're
beautiful. It's beautiful, baby, because I get them, and then they get popularized. It's like going to an underground band and you see them in a little bar, and then 2 years later they're doing a stadium, and you're like, dude, I saw them. You know what I mean? It's like, dude, I saw them when they were in a bar. So something like even just pin. So one thing to learn, guys, is the different chains. So I'm always navigating different. I'm on Binance Smart Chain. I'm on Polygon.
Right.
You know, I can deploy a smart contract on any of these and make my own DeFi project. So I mentioned all that. So there's things like Pancake Swap's probably the most popular. That's owned by Binance. You need a MetaMask wallet or Trust wallet or some hot wallet to interface with them. You get the underground coins before they blow up. You get the bigger X's. That's like Shiba Inu. The legends bought it in DeFi, and then it blew up to the public.
So you're saying you're buying it not on the Binance Smart Chain, but on the different, or not? It's on the BSC, but it's a different. It's not Binance you're buying it from.
Correct. That's correct. There's so many DEXs, decentralized exchanges. So I'll have my hot wallet on all the chains, and let's just say it's on Binance. And I'll find out like, yo, this coin is going to be really huge, and I buy it on like a Pancake or some DEX that's on Binance Smart Chain. Here's another one, guys. XLM. If you go to Lumen, if you have XLM, go to Lumen Swap, and you will earn. You can even combine that with SHX. SHX is another one, so you can make a liquidity pool. You need to learn about liquidity pools. So while you're hodling, or go to StellarX. StellarX is another place. You can make a You can make an XLM and XRP pair, and earn, 80% APY. 80%, 100% APY, and these are legit coins and legit places. I shared earlier, HBAR, go to Saucer Swap, combine it with USDC, and you're going to make like 50% APR. Now, you need to learn the chains. You have to connect your wallet to these different chains, and then learn how to bridge. Like if I have money on Binance Smart Chain, and I want to send this money to Polygon Matic, I need a bridge. So there's bridges. So I don't want to bore people, and I don't want to take over the conversation. But my point is, there's a lot to learn if you want to. And get the
crazy.
No, you're good, crypto. Bird Dog Ron. I'm the only decentralized finance I'm in personally is I'm big obviously in XRP. It's my number one bag. I felt like at a small price when I got in, it could change my life with the capital I put in, and it has. So I got involved in the Fleer ecosystem, and I hold Songbird and the relative airdrops that have came with that. So I'm fairly into the DSwap or the decentralized finance system a little bit.
Let me spit some deeper knowledge to you. You can stake Songbird on oh gosh, what's the name of that? Palaquin or
I know
PNG. If you look on the coin market cap, look up PNG. It's on the Songbird network and the Avalanche network. So you can stake that and get like 200% APR. And
Pangolin is what you're talking about, right?
Yeah, PNG. I can't.
Pangolin. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, I believe we talked about that in a Thursday night hangout, or your Friday night that you invited me on your YouTube channel. I believe that was.
So I brought that up already. Okay.
I think, or maybe it was someone else. But
then there's also, it's probably me, bro. I repeat stuff. Then there's if you have XRP, XRP is now on the Avalanche network. If you go to onavax.com, you can stake XRP and Avalanche together and get like 40% APR.
I fucks with Avalanche. I like that.
The Ethereum network.
Major partnerships. Yeah, go on AVAX. So this is and go to, I can't see that well, like enter launch app or enter something.
DeFi. Go up to that DeFi.
Yeah, or DeFi. Sorry, I can't see. Yeah. And then go to farms. Now go to farms. And then you should see what's XRP and Avalanche say as far as APR. I can't see that well.
There's some 80s, there's 111 on pop or some low level shit, but XRP and OVX is at 83.
Okay, so I wouldn't. So OVX is this swap's local house coin. Is there an XRP and AVAX?
I don't see. Oh yeah. WAVAX, is that wrapped AVAX?
Yes. Yeah. What's
Okay.
the APR?
APR is 18.12%.
Yeah.
Annualized.
Okay, so it went down. It used to be a lot higher, you know.
Yeah.
But that's
Yeah, I was on Aave trying to get some APRs, but those. But I was on DeFi Kingdoms, and they released their new Serendale ecosystem, and they had 5,000% APY. I put $100 in it, got $100 back in a month. But that was obviously the protocol descaled the APY as it opened, so that way they weren't just giving out so much money in the tokenomics.
Abe, type this in, DeFiLlama.com. This is how you do research, guys.
I've heard of that.
Llama. Yeah. Oh, it's very popular. You can research all the chains. You can locate high yield places to stake. While you're hodling, why not earn? And why not earn realness?
Oh,
So you can. This is also for your TA. Also, you can investigate volume on all the chains. So over on the left-hand side, or you just type and hit search, but you can extend that, and you'll see yield or something, yield or DeFi or something.
Overview, chains, airdrops. Oh, yields. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
And you just here's all the chains, bro. By the way, Arbitrum is a big deal. Arbitrum is a big deal nowadays. It uses ETH. It's ETH, but at the top in the search, if you have a coin, you go, hey, I'm holding. Type in HBAR, and it will, or whatever coin, HBAR for example. You can just do and say who's staking what where, But you just have to press the buttons on this site. But it's a very popular site.
Yeah, a lot of salsa swap right now. 43% APY, 49, 29, 31, 14. A lot of high percentage right there on salsa swap. A lot of people using that.
This is how you do some research, and some of these swaps, they're basically dexes, and some are how you say reputable, and some are not so reputable.
That's what I was gonna ask, because you stake up, and then rug pull or whatever happens, but it sounds like some of them are pretty legit, huh?
Yeah, if I see volume a few million in 24 hours, that gives me confidence.
Okay.
But anyway, I just want to bring awareness, guys. This is just
stacking.
Yeah. Making money.
Hey, Abe, let's go into XRP and look at some TA on XRP, because you said you started as that, and my homie, he preaches that, and I actually, half of my bag right now is XRP, and I'm wanting to de-risk sometime this year, because I want to get some of that altcoin action, but I'm hoping that XRP blows quicker than the rest of the market does, in a way.
Well, let's think about this. If we just think about how suppressed XRP has been for 5 years, I don't know when you got in, I don't know how much you hold, and I don't know where you're at with your investment portfolio. So I'm able to do things differently than you, and I'll say that right now. So if it's been suppressed, but it's also known for, since OpenCoin, before it was named XRP, to always be the last coin to go, is this the only coin that still hasn't yet to hit its all-time high? That's a question we can ask ourselves. Is it finally breaking out of this long downtrend of this descending trend line to finally get back up and break out to that new all-time high again? It's hard to say. I don't know, because this is an asset that does what it wants to do when the composite man wants it to do. So what in particular you said you were looking to de-risk? Average buy-in price. Tell me right now.
Well, I got in it at 37. So, I mean, I just got in it. All my crypto is starting within the past 6 months. So,
Okay.
like you said, my portfolio and your portfolio, but I'm holding a lot in it, and I want to catch I want to catch all the altcoin shit, like what I feel like Bird Dog be saying. I want to catch that shit more than I want to catch XRP, because I feel like I can buy back into XRP midsummer, right?
Yeah, I mean, I believe we can buy back into all these cryptos,
Exactly.
Period. Anyway, for the long term, like the next few years, I think we're going to have at least another year after this automatic rally. Even if you miss an opportunity to de-risk or sell it all, whatever you choose to do, I think we're still going to have an opportunity to dollar cost average in between now and 2025 and 2028, 29, the next Shemitah cycle. But in particularly with de-risking now in the short term, I'm looking for that 51 cent range, because XRP equals 15, as above so below. Okay, so that's a range that I'm looking to see as a potential de-risking range, because what if we don't set a higher high and we just get stopped out, where we keep getting hit out at this 322 exponential moving average? Can we break back above it but get stopped out around this 51 cent, setting a higher low? So that's going to be my first de-risking range, a short portion, a small portion of my trading portfolio. I've got a long-term bag that I'll again never touch. It'll be left for my son. So what I make is the trading. But XRP Ripple gives us 76 and 86. That's another target range that if we were to see, possibly because Bitcoin was to go to 33,000 or 43,000, somewhere around there, we can possibly see XRP easily get above 51 cents. If we break back above 54, easily into that 76, 86 cent, what some call the launch pad theory. Which will take us right there at around previous cluster ranges and sell-offs, the 76 cent range right here, and then the 86 cent range right here, getting pretty close to this 3618. So I mean, this is a pretty overheated range, but I'm only pulling that from a micro structure and back here in the sell-off. That's where I'm pulling that from. So I'd have to do a more long-term pull of a fib to really determine how high we can go on this automatic rally. If I was to go to our all-time high to our low, then yeah, that $1.13 is that 0.5 fib. That's a dead cat bounce. And that's easily seen in stocks, etc. So that could be another range, or as possibly as high as this 140. Again, XRP equals 14, so that's getting in the golden pocket. So it'd still be setting a lower high from our high, but what we would do is break this, and that would be a time to consider being cautious, because even though we got a higher high, we can still hit this golden pocket, this 786, this 888, because XRP is very volatile. I'm not saying we will, you guys, but it would be a chance to set limit orders on Bitrue or Qcoin or wherever you're holding. Go ahead and place your sell orders now, and then just get a notification on your phone that they were hit. That's going to be the best way. Just take a portion, set it at 51. Take a portion, set it at 76. Take a portion and set it wherever you feel comfortable. But those have been my major ranges to get ready to de-risk, just based on Fibonacci extension alone and nothing else. And numerology, Gematria, matching XRP and Ripple, I tied in there as well. And just the fact that this coin's been suppressed for 5 years, and it does this phallus of Osiris, this obelisk, this needle, C19 jab all the time, and it just comes right back down. And it's done that since its inception. The flare by pumping a march of 2021, when everybody was going to pump it to $10. That's what this did, and they got it to 196. Then we had the sell off from the lawsuit, but FLIR, the FLIR people wanted to pump it, but they did nothing. So it's really not a lot I can say, because I don't want to be the guy that comes out and ends up being the bad guy or the good guy because he got it right or wrong. But from my research, those are the ranges for the past months that I've been looking to de-risk, because I've been heavily accumulating at 32 cents, 32 cents too, that range right here, that 322 and the 223 year. So I've been taking every opportunity I could to get ready for 41 cents, 51 cents, and possibly 62 cents, because Ripple XRP equals 62. Like, those are some of the highest ranges. So the ones that I were given were if Bitcoin was to really break into an automatic rally, could we eventually see XRP climb even higher? So anything higher than 69 cents right now is kind of hopeful, because that's at 236, red hot, heated. That would probably be close to Bitcoin hitting that 47k, that 48k, because look at this structure right here. It's very similar to when we look at Bitcoin and its range, say right here, 40k. It's very similar. So XRP may not go higher than 68, 62 cents, 69 cents, who knows. But look at yesterday, it's hit 38 cents on 3.8. Look at today, it hit 39 cents on 3.9. It does that on so many days, like 7/8, July 8, it might hit 78 cents. I've seen it do that over the past few years on so many days. It's just crazy how XRP will go with the date. Either it's a date that adds up to so and so in numerology, or it's that day specifically that XRP's at that price, running in tandem. And I got years of videos showing that now. So
yeah, I would. For me personally, I plan on rebalancing my portfolio at the end of this year after the Jubilee.
Correct.
And I'm taking profits aggressively, selling May, walking away before the lunar eclipse. So one example, and I don't, there's a couple different philosophies on how you want to balance your portfolio. Some people I know have no coins in the top 100, right? Like Bitcoin might double, right? And like XRP might double, triple, quadruple. But then there's other deeper ones, obviously, that do bigger X's. So, and then other people, they balance their portfolio. They have these top coins here. And then like for myself, I have a lower 5 to 10% of my investment in lower, bigger things. Even Doge, I had Doge at a fraction of a penny, and I sold at $6. I didn't know it was going to go to 60 cents, but I still was happy. And then I had a Pirate Chain at like 10 cents, and that went to like $16. Now it outperformed, these type of lower caps outperform some of these larger caps. So it depends on your investment philosophy, how you want to balance your portfolio.
Right. Your mindset.
Before that last bull run, I threw like $50 or $100 on like a whole bunch of coins. You know what I mean? They're like lottery tickets. Like I saw them as lottery tickets, dog. You know what I mean, Abe?
That's what this is, a lottery in slow motion.
Yeah, but then I still had like Binance at $20, so I still had like gains and etc. So for me, it depends on your situation. In the meantime, I earn every day in my sleep, and I've been crypto retired almost 18 months now, so I know what I'm talking about as far as.
Wow, nice, congrats.
So I no longer get into cults. The XRP cult really jammed me up.
Me too. Yeah. I fell victim.
I probably lost $100,000 hodling on XRP in the last bull run. So
I lost over 150 total now.
Yeah, and actually I'm lying to you. I actually lost. I'm embarrassed.
Yeah,
because
I'm not ashamed.
I listen to these daggone cults, bro. And now, screw them. I'm empowered now with knowledge. So when things double or triple, I'm selling. And then there's the weird shaming tactic, and I've never been in an investment asset where there's like shaming tactics for not taking profits. It's very strange. So for me, I don't care what anyone says. I take profits aggressively. Could care less about any of these cryptos. I got my own people. So I'm going to balance my portfolio in a way where my risk, I have a certain percentage of super, what I call lottery tickets, and then I have some of these these more established coins. So that's me. That's my.
That's
Yeah, I respect that fully. I mean, I'm the same way. I'm going to be rebalancing mine, getting in and out of positions, getting back into positions that I think are going to last long term past regulatory clarity, because we are going to see what I believe is another Lehman Brothers event, 01 event, where we see a lot of these magical pixie dust cryptos just poof overnight.
Silvergate just went down today. Silvergate is related to FTX. So
was that a crypto?
No, it's a company like FTX. I don't think they have a crypto. I think they're just one of those. It's in the news. It's a news. I don't watch the news, but it's a news thing. So
here's FTT and all that back down to $1.08.
They're related to Sol. And then there's, hey Abe, I want to ask you, what do you think about this? Releasing a whole bunch of Bitcoin related to the Mt. Gox thing. Phony, or is that just
now this was legit. This happened. Now we know the Mt. Gox scheme happened. They used a kid as a scapegoat, sent him to prison or whatever. I don't remember the whole story. It's been years. But like this Bitcoin was confiscated. Like this shit has been, like, people have been waiting on this. Like I do know that for a fact. So there's been speculation that they've been releasing it back to the people or whatever lately. I've seen on Twitter or whatever. I try and stay away from that. But I do know that this is like a real, like, from my research, I believe, like, this ain't phony. Like this people have been waiting to get their shit back for years. Just like people on Nexo or Celsius and all this right now that are caught up in lost funds, they think, but they're just being held from them. That's why it's safe to keep your keys, your crypto, and keep your things off exchanges, and only a short amount of your portfolio on exchanges.
But in relation to, and by the way, I don't watch the news either. I just somehow have heard this chatter as well.
Right.
But in relation to diluting the market with these newfound Bitcoins on the market,
I think it's just a distraction and a perfectly timed liquidation to leverage and get ready to continue in a bullish momentum. Like, I think this is to get people to panic sell because they think we're going to go lower, and they know nothing about astrology, TA, the market maker, and how these things run on emotions. The Wall Street cheat sheet. So I think it's got validity here, but at the same time, I think it's being used at the perfect time to keep you broke, lost, distracted, and confused.
Okay, I kind of lean towards that as well. I just wanted to get your take on it.
Yeah, that's my opinion, because I actually talked to someone about it earlier today, because he's more in tune with sharing this stuff with me, and you hear this is coming up again, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, perfect timing. Coming out of 3.6, the 3.6 is coming out of 3.7, the 3.8, the 3.7s, and 3.8. This was my last video I shared yesterday morning talking about this sell-off, and if we fall below or get any candle closure below 21,500, get ready to back the truck up, load it, stack it, and, well, we're accumulating. So whether or not it's the bottom or not, we knew this was coming.
You also have an important meeting. You also have an important meeting tomorrow with Powell. I imagine with 5% basis point. I think that's tomorrow, right?
Yeah,
I thought it was the 15th through the 20th or the 15th. But
yeah,
that's my bad.
The 15th, 14th, I think.
Yeah, right there around Pi Day and the Ides of March.
Okay. There's CPI, and then there's the interest rate hike. Sorry, guys. I'm like half in, half out of the Matrix, man.
And they may be 2 different dates. Like CPI may be tomorrow, but they may do it all on one date. Like my Bitcoin chart, the last time they did it, right around when the Queen died. I know this gets pretty hard to see, but we had this sell-off on the daily time frame when the CPI data came out and the Federal Reserve spoke about, inflation, etc. It was the Fed's most recent. Oh no, so the Fed meeting was right here. The most recent meeting was right here, and then Fed meeting right here. So it's 2 different days. The Jerome Powell spoke on August 26th, and we had a sell-off. And then the CPI data came out September 13th, and we had a sell-off. So it could be tomorrow they're speaking about either or. I just thought the meeting for inflation was the 15th. And I saw that important because, well, that's actually 115, and, well, Lucifer gives us that 115 in numerology, and so does Trinity, giving us that 115.
It's March 15th and May 3rd and 4th this year is a Fed Reserve meeting.
Okay, so we already passed one.
Well, no, we already did January 31st, February 1st, and then March 15th through the 16th, and May 3rd through the 4th. So the 15th,
May 3rd through the 4th. Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, May 3rd through the 4th. May the 4th be with you. May the force be with us. Sell in May, walk away. We obviously saw that last year because May the 4th not be with us. We saw that was when Elon Musk came out and talked about, actually right back here, Elon Musk came out and talked about on Saturday Night Live, Dogecoin is essentially a scam. Anyways, like we didn't know that.
Oh, by the way, guy, eyes out on Mask. Look up Mask. That is Jack Dorsey. That's a crypto that's coming out. So it's a deep cut. So yeah, check out Mask. That is Jack Dorsey, the old Twitter guy. Just bringing awareness to it. Not saying buy it. I'm just saying they have their own cult following, Jack Dorsey. So potentially, this thing is volatile too, man. If you want to trade. By the way, I scalp trade. I use bots to scalp trade. So there's lots of bots out there, trading bots.
Cool.
So I scalp trade. And Mask is one of these interesting cryptos because it's a Jack Dorsey thing, Twitter thing.
And he promoted wearing the mask. This thing hit a high of $22 roughly in November of 2021. You can't make
Yes, I'm just bringing awareness. I'm not saying buy it. I'm just bringing it out. Just keep an eye out on it.
Yeah, on a macro scale, just glossing over everything. And I think, when we talk about these Fed reserves and stuff, on a macro scale, I don't know if it was Jordan that was talking about it, but he was talking about how, the stock market right now is, above its own threshold, and it's going to tank with the inflation and everything else going in economics. But at what point is crypto going to, tank with it and then blast off? Because doesn't usually crypto, counteract the stock market every time? When the stock market's down, crypto's up.
Well, there are times where we seem like it is correlated, but I just don't know with let's find a chart how the drawings, but I just don't know when you have 100 years plus of S&P 500 data and you only have 13 years of cryptocurrency. There are times where both are going up and both are going down, but in 13 years, 14 years now, can we really say there's enough data to say there's confluence at all? That's one way I look at it, because I don't want to get caught in this narrative that I see others are saying it's pegged to the stock market, but it's getting ready to decouple, and it's like what? But and I'm not trying to devalue your question, but that's just my side on it. Is I try to stay away from that. Like, I try to see, like, okay, now there are the S&P 500 mini futures that you can look at, and it correlates heavily. I don't have that chart pulled up. It's hard to find. But there are a few times where we can look at the Dow Jones and notice that, we're getting some correlation, like recently. When we look at this Dow Jones, what are we doing today? Well, we're down alone today 543 points on this Dow Jones chart. So Bitcoin had a sell-off. So yeah, recently, since March 6th for the Dow Jones, we've been selling off, but it's been March 20th really for the cryptocurrency market. So there's a 2-week gap of in confluence right there as well. But I guess one thing you can look at is, we had a rally from the end of February leading into the beginning of March. It only lasted a week for the stocks, but if you look at cryptocurrency, I don't know, what was I just on the daily time frame? Either way, but from the beginning of February to March, we know, we've been in a 20-day uptrend. So, that's one way I can look at it. There is some confluence, but it's not pinpoint accurate. But the sell-off today is, obviously. But that, again, I think is just preordained and planned by the market manipulator, the composite man, whatever you want to call him.
Expect a major housing crash this September, October to coincide with the end of the Jubilee.
Yes, just like 2008 or 1973.
Yep, exactly. We're in that cycle. So the housing market will crash, and that will also pull down everything. I expect a horrendous time frame around there, like really bad. So like, don't be afraid to, if we're up 10, 20, 30% on your holdings, don't be afraid to de-risk in the near 30 to 60 days, because I don't believe we have even that. I believe we have between now and I'm going to be safe and say April 15th or April 16th, that 216, because April is really the second month, and we know the true mark of the beast is 6 times 6 times 6, which is really 216. So I'm looking at by 216, regardless of moon patterns or whatever, to get ready to de-risk by April 16th. Right there around April 15th, which we know is when the Titanic sank, when we know the Notre Dame fire happened. So this date is a very, very important day in history for April. There's been a lot of tragic events. We've just seen the 4th train derailment. One in Greece, one in Ohio, one in West Virginia, one in Michigan now. And y'all know we watched the movie White Noise talking about the train derailments here a couple of weeks ago on the Friday night hangout night. So I mean, I'm just paying attention to 4/15 to be a date where we could see a scripted event, war narrative, alien invasion, whatnot, whatever nonsense.
If they pull the alien one this year, I'm gone, dude.
Bro, I've been predicting it for a year plus on my channel, so get ready, because I called the Queen's death 9 months in advance. Like I said, I'm not bragging. I'm just saying, like, get ready. You're gonna see the Golden Gate Bridge go down one day. You're gonna see this alien invasion, Project Bluebeam, which comes from Project Blue Book, which comes from ufology, okay, the study of UFOs. Okay, which is just something made by these governments, and you're gonna watch the biggest show put on in the sky, and it's just gonna be them fucking around with each other up there,
Yeah.
I mean, whatever.
Yo, Ed, what are you doing on 322? Magic Maker, myself, and a few other legends are having a show, a Decode Roundtable, man. Last time Water was the headliner. This time we have a whole bunch of other sick headliners, like my boy Wano. Wano and Juan is a friend of mine, and he said he's agreed to headline. So, dude, come through, bro. You want to be on the round table or what?
Well, I would love to. I work
What
that
is
morning. I'll work from 2:30 a.m. till roughly 2:30 p.m. and then I'll be hosting event night in the Waters community on 322 and the 223 year. I'll be hosting the event night for roughly an hour or so. But I mean, depending on what time that starts and what time your event starts, I'd love
8
to.
p.m.
8 p.m. Then I'll try and start mine at 5 and be done at 6. Have some time to check on my son, make sure everything's okay, and figure out how to get set up on your software.
Yeah, and Magic Maker, he's throwing it like an event, kind of like the last one. It's on what do you call that? Clubhouse. And then the next time we're going to do it on Twitter live, but it's going to be a big deal, bro. So I don't know how do I talk to you? How do I organize with you, man? Like, I guess through Discord. I'll just DM you through Discord, and it'd be an honor to have you.
Yeah, it'd be a privilege for me. I mean, I'm humbled.
Yeah, and the theme is Skull and Bones. So
I'm
I'm
already doing 322. It's not just gonna be Skull and Bones, but I mean, I already plan on spending my event the hour. And I saw Magic Millions in here earlier. Maybe y'all can come check that event out. And I already plan on sharing a lot of my knowledge around that number and events and people and certain things for an hour. So I think I'm gonna be ready.
Bro, there's gonna be legends, and you're a legend. And please,
thank you. I appreciate that, man. That's humble.
Dude, you have fun. Dude, I had symbolic studies the last week. Slick Dissonant is like, I don't know if you know Slick Dissonant. He's a crusher.
I've heard him.
Dude, he has a cipher. I mean, we have, and then one-on-one podcast is coming. I'm thinking Donut. I reached out to Donut.
Really?
Because
I've been wanting to do a podcast with Donut and Waters. Like, I've been trying to manifest that. And Tommy Truthful. Like, I've got you already. You were my first, and like, I mean, you created a monster. Let me on your show. Like, I want more.
No, you my show Friday nights. You know how it is. It's for fun.
Yeah.
And we don't like the free flow, but yeah, man. And the people that come through my show are actually content creators, so they're very equal. So you're right. You're in there, brother, and you have a lot to share, so I want to help amplify your message, and you also have a lot to share yourself. You're powerful people, dog.
Yeah, getting a little background interference from you. There we go. Kind of stopped now, but I heard everything you said, and I really appreciate that. I've never really cared to grow. I just really cared to contact with high vibrational individuals like y'all. I've always been, I try to stay away from YouTube and all these platforms because of trolls, but honestly, since I've started, like, I ain't really had that problem. So, now I'm ready to expand. I've always been shy though, so I'm ready to like step outside the shell. Like I said, I'm the tortoise, the hermitutus, the recluse.
Now's the time.
But now's the time for change.
If you feel it in your heart right now to start sharing, come out your hermit phase and start sharing your gnosis with the masses, I mean, do it, and it'll be blessed, so to speak. Because right now is the absolute time to be taking action. If you have a project, if you have something in your heart right now, is the time. I'm building so much right now on multiple levels. I'm laying the foundation now. I felt, because I'm activated and I'm in tune with what's going on around me. So, and I feel you are too, man. Come out, bro. Come out. I have Rockfin, so if you want to join Rockfin and get away from YouTube, because I'll be getting away. The real ones are getting away from YouTube for sure. So
that's why I went the Rumble route. What is Rockfin? ROCKFIN.
Yep. Oh, yeah, Rock. Yep, that's it right there. ROK.
Oh, ROKFIN. Yeah.
That's it. And look at my boy Sam Tripoli. So my homie books for Sam Tripoli on the right, Tinfoil Hat Show, Mystic Mark. So, yo, Abe, what I'm saying is, like, I went on My Family Thinks I'm Crazy podcast, who is the booker for Tinfoil Hat, Sam Tripoli.
Right.
If you YouTube Esoteric Georgia, I represented Georgia, and I broke down the Tartaria here in Georgia. I broke down the pyramids. They're not mounds. Esoteric Georgia. It's on YouTube. Go to my Family Thinks I'm Crazy, and you'll see me crush it. And
my family thinks I'm crazy too.
Yeah, and what do I know? You know what I mean? You know, I'm blazing right now. You know what I mean? Like
me too.
So you have a message to share as well. That
Devil's lettuce. No, I'm fucking with you.
Yeah, I'm on the lettuce right now, man. So
did I spell this right?
I just love that.
Esoteric
description of it.
Georgia.
Esoteric Georgia.
Esoteric. I put esoteric up.
And you might even put where's the My Family Thinks I'm Crazy? They should be popped up. If you put Etowah Mounds or My Family Thinks I'm Crazy.
Just type in My Family Thinks I'm Crazy.
Yeah, and then put Georgia.
I just wanted to say I appreciate you guys, expelling that energy, and I hope that you guys just get it all back in return like you guys are talking about, because, I mean, just in an hour or 2 hours, Birdsong, you guys have both fucking peeped a lot of knowledge, and I really appreciate that.
Oh, man, I think that's what I'm here to do on this world stage right now, so I appreciate that. I know Crypto Bird Ronan probably does too, and I'm not gonna stop. Like I'll go to a firing squad for my beliefs. I'll tell you guys that. With the way the world's going right now, you're gonna have to take me out to the guillotine or whatever and stop this from happening.
I have to.
Okay, I appreciate that, brother. I'm here to learn. Click on the one. Hold on, go down. I don't know what we shadow ban. Go down. That guy right there. He's right there to the left.
Right here. Oh, Mark Seuss. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and then there should be a Georgia one down there. Yeah, subscribe. He's a G. He said he would go on my show this Friday, but he's kind of being wishy-washy, so I don't know. So if you scroll down to Georgia, it's just like months ago, so I don't know if you can search or see. He does Esoteric America.
Wow.
And I did Georgia like months ago, and the thing is, man, when you start coming out, Abe, and you start spitting that knowledge, and I just reach out to these people and they join my show, we become friends, and it's like, wow, I'm hanging out with like really
right here.
Is that it?
Stone Mountains, Georgia, Etowah Mounds. Yeah, I've heard a lot about those things, and I plan to start my presentation on 322 with the fact that the Georgia Guidestones was erected on 322, 42 years ago. This would have been the 43rd anniversary of the Georgia Guidestones.
This is in my backyard, dog.
Yeah.
All this wild shit. So excuse my language, but
no, you're fine.
All of this stuff is in your backyard in North America. This is the Phoenicians. The old school Phoenicians came from here. So I have pyramids right across the street.
Reassuring its clients that its send net.
I'm gonna mute this guy. Sorry. Go ahead. You still there, Bird Dog?
Yeah, I'm still here. It's well, there's some guy talking in the background.
Yeah, I muted him. He didn't realize his mic was on. But yeah, like you were saying, all this stuff's in our background right here in America. Pyramids and America. Yeah.
The Cahokia Mounds.
Yeah. All the snake serpent mounds in Ohio that they tried to hide up. Just all kinds of things that are amazing to see with your own eye.
Bro, the Mississippi is the Nile.
Yeah.
The Nile is the Mississippi. The Isu. Isu's written into the name, or Isis, not Isu. Forgive me. Isis is written. You have all this awesomeness in Brown, Florida. This is California, Florida. You have all right, thank you. Oh man, I was struggling with that one.
You right click
What-
on them and then you mute them.
Yeah.
Yeah, so everything's inverted, guys. It didn't go east to west. I don't want to say we, but west to east with the Phoenician, the Great Sea Kings, and that is real. And we have old pyramids here. They call them mounds. They're not mounds. If you scrape away the dirt, just like the ones in Mexico, if you look up those famous ones in Mexico, look them up in the 70s and 50s. They were mounds of dirt. They pulled the dirt away and they found stone pyramids, which is what major tourist attractions are now. But the thing is, Mexico doesn't have the bureaucracy and lockdown that the US has had in the last couple hundred years. So we have those here as well. So if you excavate a golf course, you might find some stuff. And I have these edible mounds in my backyard, and I've seen photos of the stone underneath them, and they recovered them back up.
Wow.
So,
Man.
yeah.
I mean, they're just trying to cover up history, delete history, like with the sudden destruction of the Georgia Guidestones, or during the C-19 bear flu crisis, and we saw the destruction of Confederate statues, etc. Like, they're just trying to rewrite history, cover it up, get us ready for the next reset.
And organs in churches, these were healing centers.
Yes.
An organ heals your organs. There's a reason why it's called organ.
Yes.
There's healing. These churches were healing centers, with all the spires and the awesome sacred geometry.
Yeah.
And if you guys are aware of what they used to do in Russia, they destroyed all of the old bells. They went and just threw them and melted them down and made cannons.
Every war, they do it everywhere.
Yeah.
So imagine, guys, all of us here, we hear that beautiful bell all at once, and we're all on the same frequency for a few minutes. That's powerful. Sheesh.
Did you hear that they didn't use wood? They didn't use chimneys for burning wood. They used to fucking use magnetic fucking frequencies in their fireplaces, and they would heat up obelisks in their fireplaces, and it would.
That makes sense. That makes sense. I've never heard of that, but it makes complete sense.
Well, what I see is the problem with the obelisk, and by the way, that's new information for me, and I thank you. Gratitude. Spires, when I see spires, and it's weird, the synchronicity. I just wrote this in my public private group out there. But when you see a spire, that's a trophy of conquered lands. It's so similar to a McDonald's or Starbucks. When you see an obelisk, that means, hey, dorks, we conquered this sucker. We're dark cube of Saturn, death cult, and we put our spire here, and that is the sign of conquered lands, in my opinion. And one thing, just know that I love the Bach saga. The Bach saga is another Nordic thing where we get a lot of our modern day kind of etymology and concepts. They were destroyed, just like all the old more natural, like you're saying. I'm not aware of heating houses, and I haven't even thought about that. I just assumed geopolymers. So there's geopolymers out there also that are in tune, meaning you can sit and play the building like an instrument, and it's in tune in the 7 chords and the 7 majors and the 5 minors, which is 12.
That's interesting.
Like do re mi fa sol la te do.
No.
Yeah.
Well, but the chords, it's all it's numeric in a way, almost like music theory.
Okay, I got you. Music theory.
And you tie in, so my homie Third Eye Edify, he ties in music with the chakras, with all the sacred geometry. It's incredible. So that's why do you think they want to put up towers? Why do you think they want to put up pyramids? Pyramids are so brand new which is why they're never mentioned in ancient texts beyond a couple hundred years. The New Testament and Old Testament never mention pyramids. That's another conversation for another day. So they want to.
Well, I don't know. We were talking about them earlier and how I think they're soul traps and how they keep us reincarnated here.
Abe's got a hella interesting take on the Egyptian pyramids.
They're brand new, bro. They're not mentioned. Well, I call it the oppressive pyramid structure. It's oppressive. It could be the soul trap that you mentioned, Abe.
Yeah.
And I think it's part of just dampening our frequency, generation after generation. Even the stuff if they try to put the poison darts in people is to mess up your vibe, your frequency, low frequency, feed you low frequency food. Don't give you those beautiful healing centers anymore. It's all for that purpose to enslave humanity. And so there is these tactics that they use, and frequency in the older days, whether they were met by a cataclysm or by just being conquered, were all about the frequencies and vibrations.
I agree with that too. I think, like you were talking earlier with the bells and everything, like everything's vibrational frequency. At the end of the day, again, they tell us in so many scriptures that, like, Brahma spoke life into existence, or let there be light. It's all vibrational frequency when you speak or when you hear. So, or when you text on a computer screen, you're using, frequency, vibrations.
It's string theory in a way, not to like too technical with it, but like, because I feel like it's all just energy, as we just bare bones think about it.
That's true. Energy, life.
So with the Phoenicians, Bird Dog, where was you going with the Phoenicians in the west to east, and like how they were they the pyramid builders that came to America? Is that what you're saying, or like?
Great question, man. I appreciate that, bro. The Phoenicians came from North America. They are the ones that took over the Mediterranean. They were giants, okay? And they came with a lot of their technology as well, which is why the pyramids here in North America are much older and more worn down. So they're also could be considered, they're the beginning. The Romans and the Greeks, they all come from Phoenicians. You can trace that via the etymology. So I'm not making up here. Also, all the way up into, the Nordic places, all throughout Northern Africa and all throughout the Mediterranean, the Phoenicians took over. And so when you look at Latin, when you do etymology, like, you can't just go, well, Latin and then Latin from Greek. No, that is a filter from the realness. That is a distraction. You need to go straight to the Phoenicians.
Wait, so who's the Phoenicians to the Latin and the Greek, though? Were they Latin?
No, they created what we would consider Latin. When they showed up to the Mediterranean, it was all primitive, so to speak.
Okay.
That's and so that's where they had huge boats, bro. These are like almost like city boats, and they came over, and the plagiarists are like the Latins. The plagiarists are the Greeks. Yeah. So they came over here. So instead of naming Atlanta in Greek, in Greece, and then coming to America and naming it Atlanta, no, it's the other way around. You have Atlanta, Dallas, Tallahassee, all these Allahs, Tallahassee, Dallas, right? All these things here on this side started here. I love
the American.
They started here, bro, and went over there, not the other way around. They teach you the inverted truth where, they came from Greek and Latin, they named everything over here that way. No. It's the other way around. Man.
Can I touch on that a little bit to pick it up more like where we're at now in the 21st century? And I think where we've like America as a whole, because like I think there's a lot of like who was the original Americans, right? And now we're a melting pot as a whole. But in my mind, as we transcend in the universe, you know, I think we all have a lot of like burning hell in our mind and like fire and brimstone Old Testament shit. But the fact of the matter is that we're in the New Testament, we're in the multiverse, we're in like infinite outcomes, and I think America is the perfect perception of that in the way that we all came together and we made it work, whether it was through, you know, like whether it was the Freemasons that made it all happen. Like, we're all gonna thrive through the bottom end and come up and create the new America that we want to see and live in, is what I like to believe.
I see one, look up orphans trains, and that's a bunch of orphans taken from Europe and that whole Irish famine taken here, and put in orphanages. Like, they weren't orphanage buildings, they're anyway, and then they grow up and become crazy because they walk around remembering, and then they get sent to an insane asylum. So I see what's happening here today now. So that's the 1800s. 1800s were a complete farce. Everything you've ever been told is completely gone. Now here we are today. I see us, in my opinion, the tribes uniting. Those that vibe are finding each other, and we most likely will create a parallel society. Those who don't vibe high with us, because the tribes are uniting. This has nothing to do with me. I'm just observing it. And high frequency beings are uniting. So I see in real exoteric, I see what's happening is going to be a parallel society. Those living in nature are evil. Those living in the goofy, retarded, track and trace type control prisons, open air prisons are modern, and they're set. No, I see a very break and happening. Yes, there's evil forces trying to enslave humanity and not help and not assist and stop people in unlocking their greatness, for sure. But they can't. So not for me. I mean, I'll speak for myself.
But it has to get into the matrix, because when you get into the matrix, there wouldn't be the two without the one, and the one and the zero. Like, it's all divine to the point that you couldn't get past one without having the one. So as long as you are the one, you will always be the one. You know.
Say that again. That was awesome. As long as you are the one.
Well, just in numbers, like, you can't get to two without one. So, like, if the creator was zero and we are one, then we will never, like, nothing, no weapon against you shall prosper, because we are one. And as long as you believe that and you live that, you know what I mean, then there'll never be the two. Like, just on a number scale, right? And that's the whole premise of the Matrix with Neo. Like, in the Matrix, like, in the first movie and the second movie and the third movie, the first movie, it was just him trying to figure it out. The second movie was the universe trying to fuck him, and he still fucked the universe. And then the third one was like some chick in his life, and then the chick tries fucking, I don't know what I'm just like broadly glazing over it, but I don't understand what I'm saying.
I gotcha. I'm tracking, man. Keep going, dude.
I just think that's the premise, and I think a lot of people get caught up in the rabbit hole and the fire and the brimstone, but we're all one. The unity's all there, and like, I grew up and we got the phones and we're as connected as we've ever been, but a lot of people are afraid and are afraid of the phones, when in reality that's how you're going to call the united, or the tribes and everybody. That's how you're going to call your homies. That's how you're going to reach out, you know. And people just understand.
I can't use. So my telepathy powers have been jammed up. Not really, because I still, in a weird way, I start thinking right now, I guarantee you in 2 hours, someone's gonna contact me. And I'll be like, dude, we were just, or something. So, like, my telepathy's been dampened, but my old school cell phone, was probably telepathy, dog. What do you think about that?
Wait, the old school telephone was telepathy, like a pager?
I'm thinking my experience in,
I agree, because me and Abe were talking about the Lumerians and the Atlanteans, and they were higher dimensional beings, and we have since fallen, and that goes back to Adam and Eve. We're in a fallen world. Like we will never get.
When I'm talking about the Phoenicians, just know that is pre-Lumerians, pre-Atlantis. Although there was probably some overlap between Atlantis and the Phoenicians via North America.
So are they before Mesopotamian, Sumerian, Babylonian as well?
Pre that.
So earlier when you were saying that everybody thinks like everything comes from the Greek Roman mythologies, you're saying it actually comes from here and the Phoenicians.
Correct. The Greek, which is where the Latins claim to get their stuff, the Greek actually comes from Phoenicians. If you just look up the symbol, the sigils, the alphabet of the Phoenicians, and you'll see the correlation, and you'll also look at the linear time date, and you'll go, oh, well, Phoenicians first. And yes, they came from North America, which, by the way, is a new revelation of mine. So take that for what it's worth, only because I've had recent discoveries in the last year or two. So
right. Well, we're always learning.
Well, that gets back to the West. That what I was saying, that America is the new, like, the West is the melting pot of the ideas. And if the Phoenicians were that originally, I think it's going to circle back, and we're going to get that freedom back in America, right?
I don't know. I don't know about that.
I don't know about freedom.
I'll look at words. So here's where I come from. I look at a city like London, and then I think of a city before that called Babylon. Yes. Baby lawn, right? Lawn. Then you have lawn, dawn. New dawn.
New dawn.
So I look at the words, the wards, reveal a lot, in my opinion, to me. So
I can vibe with that.
Yeah, and I just track that down to the beginning. I try, where was before that? I boil it down. And I go, oh, okay. So, yeah.
Do you consider America the new Babylon?
I would say so, but it's a perception thing. Like, we talk about Babylon and freedom, and I think that, like, in a way, we got to beat the Matrix to be free. But if you were, like, grinding from the time you were, like, you know how many mistakes you've made in your life, and you're like, damn, if I would have done this different. Like, if you would have been on your shit, then, damn, I just lost my train of fucking thought.
Oh, I messed you up, bro. But think about the word, America, and then think about the word Morocco.
Yeah.
Think about so many other words that are like America. Like there's other words. Yeah. Oh, there's all kind. Yeah, merit could be one. Anything. Maritime. Mary. Mother Mary. You have maritime, which is where that's a whole nother discussion. You want to talk maritime? That's a whole nother. But that's how they operate, because they operate on.
Well, I think what I was going to say is the perception of, like, freedom and being a slave. Like, if you would have beat the system and had, like, I know we might not have had, like, the parents to get us there, but if you'd have beat the system, you'd have been free. And you ain't from the silver spoon, you know what I mean? Because there's a difference to that. But I think that we can be free, and, like, what's stopping you from creating your own commune and creating your own city in the middle of South Dakota? You know what I mean? Like, the opportunities are endless, especially when we talk about crypto and people being millionaires, billionaires off the shit, especially when Bitcoin halves. And I think that we are free in a way. And I know that's a lie, but at the same time, I think it's true.
Right. Yeah, I believe we're free.
About that life. Yo, Abe, I'm about that life when it comes to, I haven't put my sword down. So if I was to build a commune, if we were to put together a commune in North Dakota and cats start coming through with saying you're not authorized,
like the Waco, like the Waco experiments.
I gotta pick up my sword, dog. Like, what are we doing?
Me too.
Because and I'm in a lot of I have a lot of friends in like already communes, but they're in Mexico. They expats. You know, a lot of my people are expats actually in other countries. So, you know, you want to. What's stopping you from doing that besides money? It's
your own destiny.
There's some things that could stop you, and if you don't, you know, this is where
it's the Matrix. The Matrix could stop you. You could stop yourself, but as long as you're like pushing your divinity or your destiny, I think that it's obtainable. But all of us getting there, like I always thought as a kid that our generation are like, you know, it's just that. Like when I look at my parents or like adults, I'm like, what the fuck? What are you thinking? You know what I mean? Yeah. And so like, I'm hoping that our generation will be the generation to make the change, but I don't know if every generation says that to themselves as a kid.
Yeah, and I think we are a very important generation. I think other ones are important. We lived pre-cell phone, bro. We lived pre-internet. We ran around in the streets or whatever. So and now we're here. So we do have a story to tell and a saga. A sa to receive, a ga to give. So the saga continues. So it is our responsibility to pass on the saga. And and it's more like, hey, I don't like taxes. I think they're wrong. I think they're evil. I think they are everything. But if I decide I'm never paying taxes again, I'm sure some dudes, no matter how vibe I am, I don't know. Who knows?
Boys in blue.
Go, you have
knocking
to leave.
on the door for you.
They go, hey, you gotta leave. And go, no, and they go, okay. And I'll go, hey, I'm meditating in the living room. Leave me alone. And they're like, cool story. See you later. So there is some you know,
the Matrix, the fucking black suits that come and pick you up, bro.
Yes. So there's that. Right? Like I love the idea, and I'm about it, and I'm about that life. But let's not be disillusioned to where it's going to be super simple. You actually have to go.
Well, I think that it's like when you hear Jordan talk a lot of psyops, and you know, I think that like the powers to be, bro, we would fuck their ass up, dude. You think that if they wanted to try and flip the switch, like I don't think they could do it, dude. I really don't. Like, you think they're going to go take over the third world countries of the world? Like, humanity will still continue. Like, even if they wanted to torment and fucking repel. I just don't think I don't think that, like, people are talking about an EMP and shit. I'm like, I don't know, dude. Like, it could happen, don't get me wrong, but I don't think that they want that any more than they want it. You know what I mean?
I can concur to that. And I believe that you're right, that we'd run them in the dirt. I mean, again, 1%
guerrilla.
runs
it's guerrilla
the world.
tactics like Vietnam, and they'll be like, "Oh shit, let's just go back to flying around in our jets, dude. I'm sick of this shit."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But I don't think we're gonna beat them with guns and swords, you guys. I think we're gonna beat them with our minds, like y'all were talking about with telepathy. Personally, I can speak on that and say that it is real. You know, I got someone I spent 13 to high school years with dating, and you know, share a daughter with in this world, and you know, I can be thinking about her, and next thing you know, I get a text message that says, hey, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, you know, I mean, this stuff's real, you know. I believe that the ancients used to use this, and you know, it's worked in other ways. Like she'd be thinking about me, and I'd send her a text message, and she'd be like, you know, I was just thinking about you. You know, and so I mean, I think it's gonna be, we're gonna win this war moving forward with information and coming together and sharing our content, sharing our truths, and vibing on a higher frequency and vibration than even those that control us, because we're gonna do that by becoming all one.
And I think that we'll regain the frequency power and the vibrational power, because like when you listen to these guys that are talking about the next mechanical evolution, it gets into like the frequencies and the harmonics of the voices and the sounds, and they're saying that's how they built the pyramids, you know. And
correct.
I don't know how that theoretically would work, but I just picture people humming together and fucking moving their hands up, and then bada bing, bada boom.
They got the Tibetan. They've proven to, you know, they take those huge horns. They're like 15 feet long, and they can move. And several of them below on them, they'll move a huge boulder that's weighs tons. But yeah, man, that's why, Abe, I encourage you to get your message out there, because that is, you've heard me. I'm out here. I'm unabashedly out here talking truth, and my goal is what I consider truth, and my goal is to raise the vibrations every single time I'm out here on the waves. When I'm broadcasting, I'm out here, and that's how we do it as well. For sure.
Yeah, I've because movie nights run late sometimes. I've only been able to catch the last of yours after you've already posted them on YouTube. But yeah, I mean, I concur to that. You're just another divergent and glitch in this matrix. A pioneer and wolf that's just trying to feed each other, and that's what we're here to do. Is I know we're the ambrosia, the food for the gods, but at the same time, we can be ambrosia for each other. You know what I'm saying? We can feed each other.
Yes, sir.
Bro, that's why I like the Valkyrie, because the Valkyrie were the intermediaries between man and gods, and the gods, the pantheon.
Yeah.
We could be Valkyries, brah.
Yeah. Yeah, we are the Vikings, and it gladdens me to know that Odin prepares for another feast.
There's a reason why, we talk of Odin, and you talk of the two birds on his shoulder.
Correct.
You talk of the dogs.
Yeah.
And my last name is basically Bird Dog. That's like my real last name, essentially.
Oh,
with
wow.
a little twist that was given. So there's syncs everywhere, guys. The synchronicities are happening. I'm not a follower of coincidence. I am a follower of us being powerful beings, and unlocking our greatness is very real. So not everyone's gonna get it, but if you're here and you're hearing my throat chakra, you're activated and you're in tune. You're calibrated with the notes of the universe, the one verse, the oneness. So straight up,
one verse, one song, one voice, one sound. And you're right about that. I mean, we are it. We're the everything. I forget what you just said, and I wanted to add to that. What were you just saying? Dang it.
Wait, who? Me?
Bird Dog.
Oh, he was talking about his last name and the Valkyries and Odin and the crows, and how we're all just light bringers to each other and powerful beings, and how that's what we're here to do. Right.
Yeah, I think he was talking about it being like in our script and synchronistic and things like that. I think that's where I wanted to go with it, was like I stated earlier, how I started my channel and I didn't decode myself till like 2 years later, and I found matching numerology to the channel name and the pioneers that I call my followers, and everything, and it proved that I was on my path, starting my journey. Maybe not perfecting it, maybe just a jack of all trades and a master of none right now, but a jack of all trades that's a master of none is better than a master of one.
What's your sign, bro? What's your sign, dude?
I'm a Taurus traditional. Yeah, I'm a Taurus traditional. 8 of Wands birth card. Very prophetic. That's all I know astrology wise. Is that I'm a Taurus and an 8 of Wands birth card. I don't know my illumination card deck number or nothing. I've got a life path number of 4 and 11, depending on how you write it, if you use the Gregorian or the true date. But I don't know.
Yeah, I'm
a Leo, baby.
I'm a Leo, but I don't know any of that stuff. I need to do the decode on myself for real.
Yeah, I've been wanting to get with someone like Rebecca, the Red Queen of Tarot, or Decode Your Reality, Logan, and have them pay to get them to decode myself, and get a professional outlook on my life, and then go from there. Because I've never knew that much of astrology and the tarot cards to really look into it. For myself personally, I just know what the symbolism means, etc., behind a lot of it. But yeah, I study astrology more for the stars and the constellations and the zodiac, transition into the charts every month, because a lot of the times it's around the full or new moon and the 21st and 22nd. So again, being a reason why I consider it to be a pivotal point in the markets for my trading strategy.
Yeah, fine. You told yourselves, y'all. It is very valid. You'll find that there's a lot of synchronicities. You know, the time of birth. So your time. So you have
6:36 a.m.
Like Leo is interesting. Leo's they're all interesting. We complement each other. You know, I'm an Aquarius, so this
Leo
is
and Aquarius for sure.
Yeah, this is like I'm totally.
This is
I
your
decode
time.
myself, and then I get other people to decode, and I go, oh wow, it's syncing up, and it's so powerful. Yeah,
The cool thing about the Taurus with you, Abe, is that the Taurus is like, I'm pretty sure the Taurus is neutral. So like the prophetic side is like you're just speaking to a neutral like audience, right? You're not like ego boosted or anything like that, I think.
Yeah, and I mean there are times where I do get ego boosted, but I try to become, neutral, like you said. It is a fixed sign. It's an earth sign, a fixed sign. I think that's what you were talking about, being neutral, correct?
Mm-hmm. More or less. I think I'm botching it, but in a way, like
yeah. And it may be cardinal. That is balanced and neutral. I may be mistaken. We have Aries coming up, and it is a cardinal, I believe.
Well, with Aries coming up, what does that mean essentially? Like as we progress through
it's a cardinal. I'm pretty sure that's neutral, meaning neutral. But with Aries coming up, what are you asking specifically? The significance of it? Oh, market-wise?
What does that tell you?
Well, it tells me it's the first sign of the zodiac. It tells me reset, recycle. It tells me pay homage to the high ram above, the Hiram Abiff. Freemasonry. If the Freemasons had a secret hero, they would say it was Hiram Abiff, the man that died protecting the secret name of God, known as Jabulan. Okay, so this Hiram Abiff, or Hiram above, is a symbolism for Aries, the god of war. So I mean, we're seeing destruction, death, war in the markets now. So as we transition into the new moon, the spring equinox, Ostara, and Easter in April, the month of Aphrodite and Venus love, I mean, I expect it to be a bullish energy for the markets, taking us up to at least 28K. Is my projection for the top, at the very least, of this automatic rally. I think it's going to be a little higher than that, but we're just going to have to continue to see what plays out and over the next few weeks. But I see this as the first sign. The sun enters Aries again, starting a new year, zodiac wise, spinning the wheel again. I see it as a reset, recycle, right there around the 22nd, and reset, recycle, change gives you 22 in numerology. We shared that earlier in the video.
Yep. Hey, that was fire, man. I appreciate that, bro.
Oh yeah, appreciate that. But that's going to be right here around the 21st, the new moon. That's when you're going to get it come in. So
yes, guys, I gotta drop. I'm
about to have to too, y'all. We've been going 4 hours. I gotta go check on my son, make sure he's all right and everything. I
gotta jump on some Call of Duty, but I appreciate y'all, fam.
Hey, it's been a blessed one. Thank all y'all for coming out and hanging out on Thursday night, THORS-DAY night hangout with the Waters community and the pioneers of Daily Candle Close News, the divergence and glitches in your communities. Crypto Bird Dog Ronan, thank you for coming out. The love you shared, any and every one of you, and your thoughts, your inspiration. It helps me when I feel less motivated in life. Had a bad day today at work, so it was amazing to come on here and just release some stress, man.
Listen to some big crit.
I will. I saw that.
No, listen to War of the Prophet.
Post it in the chat real quick so I get a link, and I'm gonna go and just have some fun tonight. I'm doing some work all night. Been up since 1 a.m. Thursdays to Fridays are basically a 24-hour day for me. I do some work and and now I just rest. So
get her done, baby.
Yes, sir. All right, you guys. Well, unless anybody has anything else to say, I'll leave it open for a few minutes for y'all to leave your information, who you are, where we can find you, and then we'll close it out.
Hey guys,
go.
Sorry.
Please.
I was gonna say, enjoy your week, guys. Pleasure. It's always been a pleasure, and I look forward to seeing you guys again.
Oh yeah, certainly. Thank you. You too. Enjoy your week.
Thank you, man. Take it easy.
You as well.
Yeah, peace, fam. I was dying, bro. Gratitude to you, Abe, and all the listeners here and people in here. The Wolf Pack, what's up, yo? I'm here for you guys. We're here for each other. I need you. You need me. And that's just how it is. Much love. Peace, love, and harmony. I'm out of here. Thank you, Abe. Man, let's holler, dude. I'm going to DM you, man.
Please do. I want to get together on 322 after my event night in this community right here.
It's a big deal. It's going to be a big deal. And you have a busy day. Skull and Bones. Let's break it down.
Let's do
I'm
it.
out of here. I love you, Abe, man. Much love, brother. I appreciate you guys.
Love you, too. Take care. God bless you guys. All right. All right, y'all. So let's do it. And Mr. Forget, you unmuted. You got something to say? All right, you guys. So I'm gonna end it. No excuses. Gotta build your future. Leave a legacy for your family, your generations to come, and we can only do that by rising and building the frequencies and the vibrations together. So with all that being said, I'm going to leave this with what you believe in your hearts and speak in your minds will eventually become your words and your reality, and what you repeatedly do gets ingrained in your subconscious mindset, and what gets ingrained in your subconscious mindset becomes an unconscious reaction and an unconscious activity. Just make sure they're guideful, helpful, and nurturing to others, your unconscious activities. So take care, God bless, pioneers rise, build your fortress, and build your legacy.